Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this, the 38th episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Simon of Clan Melcavian.
And Philip playing Sarah Matthews of Clan Gangrel.
you forgiving me? No. Okay,
These
so...
people.
I know, oh, it's not my fault. So, we're going to leap right into the recap, otherwise I'll slip back into previous discussions.
Okay, oh, it's me.
Yes.
So, Benjamin takes Sarah back to his flat and he finds Danielle there. And Danielle has found out that Edmund is injured and she knows exactly where he is and she intends to go and get her revenge.
So Moses is called to help. He goes to join the others, helpfully informing the tailing Nosferatu where he's off to.
Meanwhile, Sarah is left at Benjamin's flat for her own safety. While there, she is also charged with looking after Fagin.
Benjamin and Moses find Edmund, who is talking to Anatoli, except he doesn't look much like Edmund anymore. Unable to face the thing wearing his sire's body, Benjamin lets Simon loose. Simon immediately tries to diablerize Vemet.
But luckily, Moses is there to stop him. He knocks Simon clear and destroys Vement's body and shoots him in the head, granting him a kill.
Some might say assisting.
Simon immediately goes into frenzy. I will not read what is written here because you wrote it and you're biased.
Meanwhile, Sabine comes to visit Benjamin's flat, finding Sarah hiding in the wardrobe. Damn you two. Fagin briefly escapes, but is recaptured.
So then Simon and Danielle go back to the flat and Simon has a lovely chat with Sarah about being a vampire.
In the meantime, Moses gets a call from Katia. She's at the cross hands with her guts hanging out. He goes and picks her up in Benjamin's car, only to just bring the rising sun back to his other haven. And that's where we left it.
That is where we left it. So, given that everybody kind of got back to their places just as the sun started to rise, I believe we're starting with rouse checks.
Ooh. Do we get our...
Willpower back.
Yeah.
Yes. Willpower will come back.
Yeah, but this is how a perfect streak of 3
And
sessions at
success.
Hunger Zero ends.
Now, can I pass?
By rolling the one die that would get me a success off the table. And I go to Hunger 2.
Shall we see if I can beat my failing rouse check streak?
Yeah, it's currently at 8.
Well,
Yo!
Nice at
Unbelievable! Unbelievable.
Okay,
We
right,
passed.
so what's everyone's levels?
2.
1.
Hunger 2.
Sadly.
2, 2, and 1. Cool. So.
It was too good to be true.
You don't want to stay at 0.
Yes, that means no hunger dice when I roll. That's very much where I want to be.
There's a
Thank you.
reason you have no hunger dice.
Yeah.
Feel bad for that.
Yeah.
Worse. You're worse. There you go. So, Moses. The first thing you are aware of when you wake up, and although it is a faded smell, it's still strong to you, is the smell of crusted, albeit very small in amount, vitae, which permeates throughout your haven. It's a stark reminder to your beast, which immediately rouses and then is subdued, that there is another predator where you sleep. And it's then slowly that you begin to remember the presence of Katia and the presence of Will. In another room, but they're there. And then memories of the previous night begin rolling back to you. And glancing over towards your phone, you double check it out of reflex, each of them. But there are no messages. What are you doing?
While I finish sort of rising and waking up, text, call Alice, her number. If it goes to voicemail, leave her a voicemail. Just call me when you hear this, and sending her a text just in case she reads that and doesn't catch the voicemail. Do the same with Nancy and Gideon. Try to get in touch with them. And voicemails, messages.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes. The number who called me from where Katia called me from. I did what you asked. Hope you're happy. Anything else I need to do?
Okay.
And to leave it there as a question and go out to see how are Katia and Will doing.
Okay. Benjamin,
Hello.
when you begin to slowly wake up, it's to a merciful relief. Because torpor, which is normally quite void, there's nothing there, there's nothing aside from a kind of blankness, which in some ways is a relief, in other ways it's like paralyzing. You wish it had been this night, because your mind was assailed with images of Edmund. Assailed with images of Vehement, and assailed with images of the burning of London. But the memories you have are not memories that you've lived through, at least none that you can remember having lived through. But all of them were horrific. But what was worse about all of them wasn't anything that Vehement did, wasn't anything that Edmund did, and it wasn't even the burning of people around them. It's the way you were. And it was the way that you managed to observe everything going on and not care. You didn't even care enough to sketch it, to paint it. And although you don't recognize them, the people that Anatoli and Lucita are drawing you towards seem not to see them. But when they do look at you, it is with an expression of abject horror. And that you can't help but finally feel a measure of emotional relief at seeing that expression. And the worse it becomes, the closer you get, the better you feel. And then you woke up. And when I say woke up, your body began to activate. Your body became alive with the senses that drew you back into where you were. Did you make a decision?
I did.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm going to get up and go out of my room to see if anyone is... Oh, is Sarah still on the sofa in the front room?
Sarah would have been the first one to wake up.
Okay.
Which for you is still a sensation which is in itself alien. Because it's not just slowly coming back to yourself, it is being very thinly aware that one by one pieces of your body is becoming alert and awake. And it always starts with the taste buds. Taste buds and the sense. And that increasingly aggressive twisting of the gut. The beast's way of reminding you that it is there. But no matter how tightly it twists and how painful that is, or how fleeting it is, you are instinctually aware it could be worse. You are instinctually aware, although you try not to be, it will be worse. But the house around you, the room that you're in, is quiet. There is no other stirring. And in the dark, you busy yourself with your own thoughts until finally you hear someone waking.
So I'll come out into the front room and look at Sarah for a few moments. Does she seem to be looking especially hungry, or does she look...
Not I mean,
It's only if she looks like she's right on, you know.
yeah. It's to be honest, she doesn't,
Cool.
because in fact she looks like she's living, as though she's made a point of making herself appear living. Which is something that you immediately pick up on because you come accustomed to being in the presence of the dead.
Yeah. You don't have to do that here, you know.
I figured that out this morning, I think. Why it just happened? I don't know.
Do you like it? Do you prefer it like this?
I don't know.
Then pick.
I need to do, or at least finish up one thing before I can make any choices.
What's that?
Is there a body to be buried, or is that done?
You mean a body that can be you?
No.
You mean you wish to bury someone?
What happened to Jim's body?
So last I heard, or remember, I think his body was. Am I right in saying it was in the church and it was being taken care of by? Oh, okay.
As far as you're aware.
I'll say Moses has taken care of that.
I need to speak with Moses and
Yes.
I need not an empty casket this time.
I'm going to go across the room and have a quick look in the bathroom. Is there any soap left there?
There is.
I'm going to wash my hands.
Okay. It is because you like to purchase good products.
Hmm.
It is the same kind of soap that Anatoli took.
Hmm.
Not the same one,
No,
but it is the same kind.
that'll do.
And the smell of it is oddly refreshing.
Hmm.
Now that you've come to associate it with Anatoli.
Hmm. So I'll come back out to Sarah. Are you going to call Moses then?
He said yesterday he'd be back, so seems like a busy guy.
Yes. So you should call him. He'll be too busy to call you.
Send Moses a text. Are you coming back?
Bzzzt.
Yes, but later I ran into some difficulties. I'll keep you posted. Do you need anything?
When you arrive, I need personal conversation. Are you okay?
I am. Yeah, sure, we can talk when I get there. And yes, I am okay, but others are not. I'm tending to them.
Stay safe. See you soon.
See you soon.
And that's the responses you get. So you're aware there are responses. The phone went bzzz, bzzz.
What did he say?
He'll be around. He'll be around sometime. Apparently he's fine, but he's with someone else who got hurt.
Did he say who?
No. And I figured might not be the wise thing to ask over the phone.
Yes.
Um,
You're right to be careful. So is there any sound of Danielle moving at this point?
No.
What are your plans for this evening? Is it
Until Moses or Katia comes, then I have to look after you. And after last night, most of my plans don't matter now. I have to make new ones.
well? If there's going to be some time, I think the hunger could be reduced a little. I don't know, but
You feel it.
yes.
You'll feel it forever. But
Lisa said to feed often,
yes,
and I haven't since the night this happened.
then we'll hunt.
It's hunt, is that?
That's what we call it. Have you... Did Lisa feed you?
No. The only person that man, I don't know who he was.
I do. It doesn't matter now. He's dead. Do I feel any better when she looks like that?
A little.
If you feed when you're not that hungry, then you can control it. And it will not control you.
Okay. So, how do we hunt?
Everyone is different. In time, you will have to choose how you wish to hunt. But for now, we will make it easy for you.
Okay.
I'll go to the door where Danielle is and I'll knock.
Yes.
I need to take Sarah out to feed. Are you staying here?
I can leave if you wish.
You can stay. If you wish.
Amelia's door opens. And she studies you closely. And Sarah. I should probably go.
Yes.
It was nice meeting you, Sarah. She moves over towards the door, pulls it open, and slips outside, leaving you two very much alone.
Okay, I will get ready to go, I suppose. But before I leave, I'll say to Sarah, there are lots of ways to feed. When you're near blood, your teeth, your real teeth, will extend naturally. Has Lisa taught you how to feed?
She just said, do it little and often.
When you taste it, you will want to drink forever. So take the smallest amount you can and then stop. I will show you what to do. I'm assuming it's like, I don't know, 7 o'clock.
Between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Sun's gone down quite soon.
It would be easiest if they were unaware of us. I'll look at her up and down and say, are you good at moving quietly when you need to?
Not particularly. I'm in a physical sense. That was always Jim. Jim's
All right.
Physically.
Fine. So I will get Sarah to come with me, and I will of course realise that someone's taken my car. So we will take a stroll.
Okay.
As I walk out, I'll be very careful, even though the cat's definitely in.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Before I leave, I will put food down for Fagin.
Okay. Good man.
And drink, and I will even stroke Fagin a couple of times.
Yeah. Fagin seems a little bit more docile than he has been the last few days. Now that he's started to get a semi-regular food
Good.
drop. He purrs at least when you touch him,
Yeah.
which is probably more than what he's been doing recently, which is generally hissing and running away from everyone.
Okay. So yeah, I will take Sarah, and I'm. The thing is, not many people are going to be asleep yet, so what I might do is look to see if there are any very quiet pubs anywhere. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm not in our domain, am I here? All right, change of plan. I'll go back into the flat with Sarah, and I'll say, before we go, I'm going to take out my phone. I'm going to text Moses and say, "Where's my car?"
Meanwhile,
Okay.
you've you received
Where's my car?
a string of messages from Sarah, and then began making your way out into the living room, or into the space where Katia is.
Yeah, and then the platform.
Yeah, living room.
Yeah, the living room.
The living space where you've started making your way out when your phone buzzes again, and you have the question of, "Where's my car?"
Safe, intact, and in my haven.
I need it. Sarah needs to be. I'll put Sarah's hungry.
Give me BRB, and then another message. Give me a couple of minutes. Because I don't know if he knows any text speak, and it's 2001, so BRB is not gonna mean a lot to you.
I will look at it for a while.
So, sat against the wall, clustered amongst some old debris on the platform, is Katia and Will. Kept to one side, just to ensure that they're just not directly out in the open. They are huddled together, and what coat that Katia had has been spread out over her to immediately cover the wounds that she had sustained the previous night. Wounds which you haven't had a proper look at since she was pretty much just shoved into the car and you drove off. But you're aware from the way that she's holding herself that it's quite substantial. And Will is cleaving very close to her. Will seems a lot more alert and awake, and whilst Katia has a little bit more range of motion to her than before, she is, if it's possible, paler than she was the previous day. She certainly looks a little more sunken than she was.
Are you okay?
Who are you asking?
Will. Because I know Katia isn't.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, so now that we have a little time, let me get this straight. Katia, then turn to her. So the constable went after the prince.
If I'm going to have this discussion, I'd rather have it in front of the whole of the coterie, rather than repeat myself multiple times, Moses.
Well, I have Benjamin Scars, the one in which I picked you up. His baggage is flat with Sarah, Jim's sister.
My recommendation is that we go meet with the others, go to your haven or his, whichever one's more secure, and stay there for a while.
The most secure haven right now probably is this one.
Then I recommend you go and get them and bring them back here for our communal safety.
I check the phone and go, and Sarah's hungry.
Like brother, like sister.
I will. So it'll be a while before I come back.
I can't believe I'm going to ask this. Moses, do you have any rats in traps or anything anywhere remotely nearby?
No, a lot of people have been paying visits to this place. It doesn't feel as secure as it used to. I could try it because I have not been getting any rats. I've not been feeding from here, so probably the area has quite a few.
Whatever you can do would be appreciated.
Okay. How about you, Will?
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, let me know if you need to go out or anything.
I can make that a priority later on. I'll stay with her until you come back, and then I'll sort myself out.
Cool. Text Benjamin. I'll go pick you up. Wait for me in however long it is from here to there.
Okay.
I'll text back understood.
Okay. Get in the car. Go look for them.
So
Put my phones, all of them, on the the little space in between the seats.
Mm-hmm.
So I even if they're in silent, no vibrate or whatever, they will light up. And if I get any message or calls or whatever, I will see them. I will not even if I'm driving, I will not ignore them.
Okay. So you start making your way back towards them. It's still relatively early. The sun's gone down. The streets are still
Yeah, I'm
well illuminated with streetlights, the glow from cars.
and it's August, right? So it's
Yeah.
getting nippy. I'm just gonna get well, this is my haven, so I'm gonna get probably like my beanie and a normal one, and like a jacket with high collar. Try to like sort of disguise myself as I drive.
Okay. It does take you a little longer to get there than your estimate, just purely because there's a number of people out. Even the people that are currently taking public transports isn't making the roads any easier to navigate at this time.
Yeah, and I'm trying to avoid major roads in which I have to stop in a traffic light in front of a lot of people waiting to do cross or whatever.
So you and Sarah are kept a little longer than is planned. And it's perhaps because of this that you are given a little bit of company during the time that you are waiting. The one who approaches you, you recognize to be Anatoli.
Ah.
Who seems to be moving down the street, pausing every now and again to double check numbers on buildings. And you can tell that because every now and again he'll stop, double take and go over to a building and double check the number. And he seems to note it down on a slip of paper. It can't be a very big slip of paper, no bigger than about that, but he seems to be noting it down. And then he moves on to the next one.
I would like to use heightened senses, and I would like to watch everything he does.
Sure.
Every movement he makes, every look.
Heightened senses out on the street? What particular senses?
I'm going to
or are
be
you
pushing
going
for.
full-blown?
I'm going to try and push for sight.
Okay.
I just want to see how he moves. I want to see what he does. I want to
Okay.
see the expressions on his face. I want to see maybe which numbers he seems to be looking at, which he then writes down.
Okay. We'll say because of all the bits and pieces that are currently going on in the city that you have to ignore, resolve plus insight.
Resolve plus insight.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 successes.
3. Okay. Every single thing he is doing, everything, is done with purpose. He is not making any, even the double steps that he's doing, retracing steps to go back and check in the building. It's steps that now that you're watching him closely, he's not suddenly going, oh, there's one I've missed.
Yeah.
He has gone forwards, noted something else, and then gone back to what he's missed. And he is doing everything with a calm composure, and people that are stepping past him aren't stepping past him in a kind of, oh, this guy's got no shoes kind of thing. But the way that they're regarding him is with a mixture of awe and fear. But it's subtle. It's not like they're looking at him and going, oh, fuck. They're instinctually giving him room. And he seems to not pay any sort of attention to them, but you are well aware he is noticing everything around him. And what he's writing you can't tell because it's in a language you don't recognize.
Oh.
But every stroke of his pen is slow and purposeful. But you actually notice that the way that he's doing additional strokes on letters, almost as though there's additional meaning behind each different letter he's writing. And then when he puts them down and he moves past certain letters, he seems to be paying more attention to certain units than others. You think it's units.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some individuals who seem to garner his attention, and you only notice this because when they move past, you see his eyes flick in his peripheral towards 1 or 2 people that pass. Everybody else might as well not exist. But there's 1 or 2 people that his gaze flickers to as they move past. But it's fleeting. But like everything else about him, there's a reason for what he's doing. And then when he finally comes up towards you and he speaks in a very conversational kind of, oh, funny to catch you guys here kind of way, you are well aware that his meeting you here is not unintended.
I'm going to kind of move slightly behind them.
Yeah, your impression of him is he terrifies you. And you can't place your finger on why. It's not the lack of shoes that most people would miss because the trousers are long enough that they kind of cover them unless he moves in a way which pulls it up his leg. It's not the dreadlocks or the kind of almost vagrant-like look he has about him. But there is something about him which is making your beast quell, and you cannot tell what it is. And what makes it worse is that when he's speaking, Benjamin seems to know him in a way that, to outwards appearances, Benjamin's not affected in the same way. Where are you going?
We're going to make sure that Sarah doesn't get too hungry.
Prudent. Are you hungry, Sarah?
A little, I think.
Yes, she is going to be sensible and not wait too long.
It's wise. Too many people lose their lives to senseless feeding. You would suit a brunette, do you know that? I just saw a colour. Dyed into someone's hair earlier and I thought, now I see it on you. You have the shapely face.
It would make sense when you don't want to be recognised as who you were, to change how you look, to change on the outside as well as on the inside.
In an age of technology, everybody overlooks the basest of details. Colour of the hair. People pay attention to the electronics, technology, fingerprints, things like that. How easy is it to dye your hair?
Easy enough.
Wow. When were you born, out of interest?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious. Don't worry. It's not important. I was just curious.
Where are you going?
Same place you're going.
Huh.
Unless you object to my company.
No, not at all.
I'm curious to see how you do. Unless you object.
She doesn't. It's all right.
Well, it's all about choices now.
Yes.
Do you object?
I
I won't be offended if you say yes.
have no idea what you're talking about.
You're going to eat.
Oh.
He leans in close to you. What did you do to her?
Not me. The one that made her.
Ah, the one we unmade.
Yes. Sometimes, Sarah, I'll just make sure there's no one too close to us when I'm saying this, like normal people.
You get the
wouldn't do
feeling that Anatoli's already doing this.
Yeah.
That he is very much, again, peripherals, watching everything.
We can be cursed by the one that came before. In your case, the one that made you was a coward. And she tried to hide that cowardice behind an angry face and by lashing out at others, but it was a weakness. You have to think of how to beat that weakness, to not be a coward. It's all right to be afraid, but don't let it rule you like it ruled her.
Did it rule?
Your brother. Rules everybody. So, where are we eating?
If it were up to me, we'd wait till later when people are asleep. But it's not up to me. It's up to you, Sarah. Would you rather feed from someone who is asleep, or would you rather they be awake?
Also, if you're feeling the need to be a bit adventurous, tonight's the night. Consider it a free buffet. All the owners are away. I checked.
I I was waiting for a car. Do we not need to wait for a car?
Depends on how picky you're going to be, I suppose. If none of the people here take your fancy, then yes.
Gonna look around at some of the houses. I mean, I don't like to feed too close to where I live, but do I think that Moses is going to arrive very shortly, or do I think we've got time to try and sneak in a quick
It
snackaroo?
might. Well, based on his estimates, he should have been here 5 minutes ago.
Okay, no, I'll wait. I'll wait for him because
Okay.
to some extent, I think I'd rather wait till it's later anyway before we.
Okay. So you continue to wait. Anatoli doesn't say anything else. He goes and sits down on some of the stone steps and brings out the piece of paper and just observes it. Doesn't say anything else, and for all intents and purposes, you're pretty certain that he's forgotten you're there.
Well, that's excellent because I intend to study him somewhat relentlessly, unless Sarah says anything to me.
All of a sudden, Benjamin is staring at the blonde, dreadlocked guy. You seem to have gone from being the focus of both of their intense attentions to ignored entirely.
If this was cartoon, you'd see question marks behind all.
Nothing.
Just
It takes another 10 minutes before the vehicle finally arrives. Moses, the traffic has been a bitch. But you finally got there. Wanting to keep away from all the main streets has given a bit of a delay as it was, but you thought you could make up for that with the occasional acceleration. But there's no room for you to accelerate. So what was supposed to be a couple of minutes delay is now turned into a full 20 minutes.
Okay.
But finally, you find the ones you're looking for, close to where you know Benjamin sleeps.
So,
How close are you pulling up?
how busy is their street?
Busy.
I pull in a corner and I know.
There's quite a few cars along the street, like parked up. This being a residential area.
Yeah, I try to go to a non-heavily transited area. Maybe go into one of the alleyways or small streets or garage entryways or whatever, and then text them or call them. It's like I'm over here. Walk towards the car.
So you get your message come through.
Okay.
It's the one thing that manages to distract you from your study.
He's here, and I'm going to start heading towards the car. I'm going to assume that Anatoli's going to notice. If he doesn't, I'll be proven wrong.
He rose to his feet before you got the message,
Ah, there you go.
but he doesn't move off until you have.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go to the car.
So you can see that same individual that you met outside of the school building.
Soapy. Oh, what was his name? Antonio.
Please call him Soapy.
I
think the chat would love you for it.
Arnoldo. Alberto. Anatolio.
And you can see him locked in apparently strenuous thoughts
Okay.
as you make your approach to the vehicle, your vehicle.
I'm going to get into the front passenger seat
Okay.
as he's in the driver's seat.
Hi there. Sorry about that, guys.
And
Traffic's being worse than usual, and I was avoiding main streets
Anatoli climbs into the back.
with Sarah.
He does gesture for you to get in first. And climbs in behind, closes the door, and puts the seatbelt on. So, where are we going?
He wanted to come.
Oh, okay. But after that, we need to meet with Katia.
All right.
And
Why?
then I look at the rear mirror at Anatoli.
I'll also look in the rearview mirror.
It's like, we have some coterie related conversations to have, and
Is she okay?
No. She isn't. They start driving off just because staying here is suspicious. So 4 people in a car. So you're just driving off to smaller streets, but out in the byways. The whole point is to go around all the way to our domain.
Okay.
As we're driving, I'll be keeping my eye out for anywhere where I think it might be. Yeah, anywhere where, because I'm thinking that we want to go somewhere if we're going to feed before it's super late, where at least there's only maybe one person.
Okay.
So I'm looking for any places where I get a vibe. I might be wrong, but where I get a vibe maybe that there's just one person there, or potentially one person.
Cool. Intelligence plus investigation. Or streetwise if you want. There's different difficulties depending on which. Oh, you fooled I was going to say DM then. But,
okay. 1 success.
It's hard to gauge.
Yeah,
I mean, Moses is not taking the usual streets where you'd expect to go.
Okay.
For the reasons he stated previously. And your attention is currently torn between external and internal.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you to get every single time where you've passed a neighbourhood where you think it could be good. You haven't spent enough time observing it as you've gone past to come to a reasonable conclusion.
I'll give up.
Well, my attention is on the 3 in the car, nothing what's outside.
Okay.
I'm just silently driving, trying to get to the domain.
Okay.
Normal stuff. Wrong night to get on anybody's.
Where in the domain are you heading to?
Northeast into the part we annexed. So in the more residential area, not the small residential in which we were between the mall and the crossed hands, more to the east of it, over Camberwell Grove Lane and that little residential area around the War Memorial and the park, the Surrey Rifles War Memorial.
Okay.
Because I figure it is not like it might have some people walking about at night, but also there's houses and parks and stuff. So
cool. So, do you want to have a discussion about how you're going to do this, or do you just want to leave it to Sarah to do with teamwork?
Oh no, I think I'm going to help her.
Were you thinking more of a pub or something? A pub feed?
No, well, were you taking us to like somewhere outdoors?
Well,
that's kind of deserted.
It's just driving three blocks down that road, and we have all the pubs and restaurants.
Yeah, I'll take her into a pub.
Okay. So relatively, it's not busy, but there's quite a few people in this particular club that you've come past. The Greyhound.
Mask of 1,000 Faces, because I'm gonna help them, and I don't go hungry.
Okay. So what is your approach going to be for this? You're the primary actor here. What's your approach?
This one, so what do I do?
I'll show you.
Talk to somebody, seduce somebody.
I'm going to tell. Is it a unisex toilet or is it men and women's?
Men and women.
Okay.
Split on 2 separate sides of the building.
Okay. I am going to, and the toilets themselves, are they like just small, like in one person can go in at a time kind of toilets, rather than like a big thing of like cubicles and blah blah blah?
No, it's the former more than that.
Yeah, so like one person.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will say to Sarah, I'll make sure that the toilets are not currently being used. And I'll say to Sarah, wait in the men's toilet. Someone will come there, and then I will come in with them, and then I will show you what to do. When you see them coming over with me behind them, slip inside.
Okay.
Do not let anyone else use the toilet before we arrive. Right. Find someone on their own.
Okay.
Male.
I help them.
Okay.
Like, this is kind of kinky. in a bad way.
Okay. So.
Shall I tell you what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to dominate someone
Mesmerize.
into going into the bathroom and doing what I tell them to do, and then I'm going to feed on them and show her so that she can feed on them at the same time.
Okay. So what's your rates? Your rating in dominate?
Dominate, it's 2, but if they're a mortal who is unprepared...
Yeah, no, that's fine. How are you attributing to this? How are you helping?
I'm spotting the guy who is on his own, not with a group.
Okay.
Isolated.
Right. So, all in all, your approach to basically grab them and eat them is going to have a +3, equal to your dominate plus your teamwork.
Okay.
Because even if you dominate the guy to go to the loo, you've still got to feed.
Yeah, although I'm going to dominate him to go to the loo, close his eyes, hold out his arms, and count to 1,000. So...
Even so, it could go wrong.
Yeah.
So, you managed to find, Moses, a relatively an easy mark in the sense that this guy with a kind of burgundy-coloured jacket is sat alone, watching the TV that's etched up in the corner, and he's not really paying attention to anybody else. He's fixated on that TV. Every now and again, he will glance around at other people, and you can tell from the way that he's observing people that are in conversation, or people that are, approaching the at the moment vacant corner where the band is normally set up, that he's eager for company that he hasn't yet got. Not in a kind of, I'm hoping I score lucky today, but he just generally has a lonely feel about him, and that's what draws you to him. And then when you go up to him and begin striking up the conversation, he's very quick to jump into it. Even though he doesn't know you, it seems to rouse in him some measure of enthusiasm for the socialness. Which means at the moment that he makes eye contact with you, it's very easy for you to just tell him, go to the bathroom, close your eyes, hold out your arms, count to 1,000. Maybe in a more subtle way than that. I'm not sure how subtle you're
Not much more subtle, no. I'm pretty much going to say
as
that.
he's listening, his smile slowly ebbs. And then he nods. And then he pushes the beer towards you, almost as though he expects you to look after it. And then just steps past you. Moves straight towards the bathroom.
So I'll follow him in.
You're already in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're terrified when this door opens. You know what's coming, but you feel unprepared for it. So when the door handle finally goes, you brace yourself. And then as it opens, your fear at seeing a guy that you don't know and instinctively preparing an apology of some sort, because you're well aware this isn't the woman's bathroom, that vanishes the moment you see he step in. And you notice that the guy steps into the bathroom with his arms out in front of him and his eyes shut. And the weirdness of the scene immediately forestals any kind of complaint or apology that you had.
I'm going to close and lock the bathroom door behind us. I'll say...
I'm going to stay guard outside just in case.
So do as I do. And I'm going to go to one side and take one of his arms and wait for her to do the same with the other. And then I'll bring my mouth close. So inhale. And then I'll show her my teeth coming down.
And a very weird sensation. It's almost like feeling droplets of water pass down over your lip. It's probably the closest sensation you can have to it. Apart from that sensation is felt on the gums themselves. And then the sharp puncture as your fangs push into your lower gums. And you have to kind of rewrite them before you begin mimicking him.
By the way, I went an extra level of hunger off that, Dominic, just so you know.
Okay.
So I will say to Sarah, just a little. I will tell you when to stop. And then I will just very gently slide my teeth in and begin to feed.
Okay. You both taking one?
3. No, I'm kidding. I'm taking...
I am killing him. No evidence. I learned this from Sabine.
No, just...
Occupied.
Just one. Just
Okay.
one. I'm going to break even on this whole affair.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm only sipping is because I want to take the sip, the kind of the briefest sip, and then I will stop to make, and then hopefully when I start raising my head, I will see her doing the same. If she's not, obviously let me know.
You remember this sensation, faded though it is, the moment that you begin tasting blood, it is... The only word that comes to mind is euphoric. And everything fades away. Apart from the voice inside you, which is telling you how incredible this feels. And telling you it doesn't have to stop. And in those moments where you are only aware of Benjamin retreating because of the way that the other arm goes slack, pulling this own arm that you're latched onto lower through momentum, that you are aware that he has stopped. But as you try and stop yourself, that voice inside gets louder. And it's only through your own willpower that you manage to force your eyes open and detach yourself. You do know it takes her a few moments longer,
That's fine.
but not enough to make you worried.
Okay. Then I will make sure I've got her eye, and then I will lick where I've bitten and watch.
And the wound seals shut.
Okay. I will...
As the man begins to shake
Yeah.
on his feet, you can tell that he's shaking because of the way that his trousers flap.
Yeah.
You are well aware that his mouth is still moving.
He's counting, yeah?
He's still counting.
Perfect. I'm gonna make sure the seat is up as if he's been using it. And I'm gonna leave him there and unlock the door.
Okay. Sarah, roll... We'll say roll composure plus stealth for me.
With the bonus dice that we gave her, or not?
Moses
Oh no, this has nothing to do with feeding.
Oh, okay. I'm standing guard outside.
Yeah, he's on the door, if that's relevant.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, you're stopping people from going in,
Yeah, like basically.
but she's coming out of a guy's bathroom on the tail end of other people going in. It's attention grabbing.
2.
Okay. Okay. So you slip out. You don't think anybody's noticed, and you don't think anybody's noticed. Most people are very preoccupied with their own company, and the fact that the band is now setting up. There's instruments being arrayed up on this elevated platform, and a lot of the attention has gone there. It seems like this is a band that is relatively well known in local circles, but you don't know who it is. It's not one that you recognise. You slip free. It takes you a moment to try and remember to make sure that you've dabbed, but fortunately, because it was done in such a controlled manner, there is no spillage, there is no evidence. But it's a reminder to yourself that you only remember to check after you left. You step away. The gentleman is still where you left him, still counting slowly.
Fine.
Then you find Moses outside the door, and Sarah glancing around.
Better? Shall we?
Yes.
Where's Anatoli on all this? Did he stay in the car?
Anatoli's at the bar.
Oh.
The gentleman that you that had been speaking to this guy that had given him his drinks and stuff is now currently speaking to Anatoli. But Anatoli is just leaning on one of his hands and just listening to what this guy's saying. And the guy is saying something quite animated. You can't quite hear what he's saying over the din, but Anatoli is listening. And then every now and again he'll run his finger over the top of the glass. And then when he turns it the other way, the guy's tempo slows. And he starts speaking about something else. And then Anatoli turns his fingers the other way, and the guy's tempo picks up, and he starts being a bit more open with what he's saying. And then Anatoli just lifts his finger off of the top of the glass, and turns and looks at you, and then just blanks the guy. And the guy just looks from him, blinks, looks over towards someone else that's waving, emphatically trying to get his attention because they want a refill. And he just blinks, looks over at Anatoli, and then moves off. Feel better?
have to be somewhere, don't we?
Yes, we do. Do you need us to drop you somewhere?
No, I can make it on foot. I was just curious.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I'm meeting someone.
Who?
You know who.
Oh, the other friend you mentioned,
Lucita.
Lucita. That's the one. Thank you.
I think you'll get on well with her. It's not often that she doesn't disdain new company. I think it's the soap product. Smells nice.
I like that soap.
So do I.
Yes.
I'll reimburse you. Lovely meeting you, sir.
Are we waiting in the car? And you just walk out confounded about the soap conversation.
I'm gonna try and slip.
Moses,
Yes. Goodbye.
she'll do her part. But it's not going to be the part that you're hoping for.
Who are you talking about?
Our mutual friend between the three of us. How's the hand?
It's still there. It will always be there.
No, it won't. Good evening, guys. And he steps past you.
Okay. Huh? And I start walking to the car.
Yeah, I'll go to the car as well.
And, like, huh? You just sit down and start. Now
What the hell is that?
driving towards my other haven.
So as we're driving, I'll say, that is Anatoli.
Yeah, I met him last night. I had to ask if him and had done the whole thing of introducing themselves to the prince.
Is he like us or something else?
He's like us.
He is definitely something else. Like, yes, he's like
What?
us, but in another total different league.
What does that mean?
It means he feeds on blood like you do. But he's different in other ways.
Like
he sees things differently. Lots of things.
so he is mad?
No, not mad. He's enlightened.
I'm just nodding with my head and driving.
I'm getting some seriously mixed messages here, and it's really, really confusing.
Well, not everyone sees the world the same way, Sarah. People disagree. Sometimes they disagree with themselves. I wanted to thank you, Moses.
For?
Last night, I thought I wanted his blood. I wanted him to destroy him, to be him, but I was wrong.
It's okay.
It
was a weird, addictive blood
It
thingy.
was incredible, Moses.
What?
Well, a lot
was
of drugs
like
will
nothing
do that
else.
to you. I mean, that's how you lost Edmund. That's how Edmund was lost.
Yes, I
On
thought
the thrill of that drug that was that poison.
I thought I could do better than Edmund. I thought I could be better than Edmund. I thought I could be him, but better. But that was wrong. You were right to stop me. Thank you.
It's okay. You're welcome.
I've found something better now.
I'm afraid to ask, what have you found?
No, not blood.
Oh.
Just a better way.
Oh, okay. A better way of what?
A better way to be.
As in... How?
You have to understand, I did it all for him, for Edmund. Everything. Everything was for him, but he's... And I know that he was dead for a long time, but now he's gone. There's nothing now. I can...
But weren't you doing some of the stuff for yourself as well? Weren't you challenging yourself to increase the level of your art? Not only for Edmund, but for yourself?
I don't know.
Were you at any point true to yourself, trying to improve? Because if you're doing it for him, but you're fully aware that you're doing it, then you're remaining true to yourself.
I did it because he wanted me to do it.
Did you want to do it?
I wanted to do it because he wanted me to do it.
What do you want to do?
I'm still working that out, but I'm getting there, Moses. I'm getting there.
It's okay. It takes time.
And
Take me time.
And you stopped me, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, don't mention it.
What?
The blood you drank, it tasted good, didn't it?
Yes.
Some blood tastes better. Some blood tastes so good that you would do anything for it.
Right.
Our blood. Not human blood, our blood. Tastes better. And the older you are, the better it tastes.
So, you were going to feed on someone older and...
I used to feed on someone older a lot.
There's a lot of your education that has to go through Lisa. We're not supposed to teach her.
We're not supposed to teach her.
No, that's part of the agreement.
Well then, why did she not teach Sarah how to feed and then abandon her?
That's why I didn't say anything until now. She needs to feed, we help her. She needs protection, we protect her.
Sarah is our responsibility now.
To take care of, not to train or teach or educate in any way.
We should ask a greater boon from Lisa.
We have a major boon from Lisa. The only thing that is above it in the prestation system is a life boon. What we have is massive.
What is this boon system? I don't...
And I tell her just the very basics. This is the currency. This is, you owe me a favor, I owe you a favor. But with immortal beings, well, comes long memories. So if you fail to deliver, people would know. This is basically your credibility towards boons is pretty much everything you would have in kindred society. If you cannot be trusted to repay a boon, you're unworthy of even sharing the same living space as other kindred. Some princes wouldn't even let you stay in their cities, others would enforce it in nastier ways. I'm sure Lisa will explain to you the nuances of the trivial, minor, major types of boons, but when we agreed to take care of you, it was in exchange for a major boon. Basically, she owes us big time.
Would you like to know something funny, Sarah?
Is there anything funny in this world now?
Yes. I would have done it anyway. But Lisa doesn't know that.
I wouldn't have. You're gonna see how Katia is. And this is the state of things these days. I have a lot in my plate, and taking care of another person is not exactly what I have in my list of priorities. I'm sorry. It's not against you. Anyone.
It's all right, Moses. I can do it. I'll do it.
We still need Katia to agree.
I won't say anything to that.
I park when we
Continue
get
back?
to the- Yeah.
Okay. Takes you less time to get back to your haven than it did to go and get them. But not by much. And you begin making your way slowly, as subtly as you can, back down towards your haven. Easier to do when you haven't got somebody with a,
Yeah. Guts out.
bloody torn, clothing. And when you make your way back down, you can hear soft conversation going on further down. You can hear it certainly, but it cuts off the moment that your footsteps echo down the passage that leads back to the train car.
Yep.
And then when you step around the corner, you see Will and Katia. Now that they've been moved over closer towards the train car and out of casual sight, you can tell that whilst Will has taken off her jacket and put it over Katia, Katia's stomach is open from side to side. And she has partially healed it, but she is not moving on the one side to keep what she has inside where it is. That is the only wound she has, but it is deep. And that's how she is at the moment.
And we go in.
Okay.
Actually, I go around the car and look for the old couch that Foggy used to use. And just start dragging it so she has a place to sit that is slightly more comfortable.
She gets up. She nods to Benjamin as she moves. She doesn't say anything initially. You get the feeling that speaking, unless she's settled and unmoving, is probably painful for her. And Will steadies her as she walks. So she doesn't hold her up as she did, bringing her down. And now that you've had a proper look at it, there's quite a few superficial wounds which have been healed. And now she settles her again, more comfortable with what you've brought over. Katia gives a proper look to each of you. Longer towards Sarah, but doesn't say anything. Did you want me to go now, or did you want me to be here?
This is Will asking me.
Yeah. I gather you had something to speak about.
Yes, we do. But actually, first thing we can discuss in your presence, Katia, you remember Sarah, right?
Vaguely, it's been quite a busy time, Moses.
Okay. We have been asked by Lisa Ketting to take care of her, and not as in. I mean, she's a fledgling, and Lisa Ketting is, to all intents and purposes, her sire. We're just tasked with babysitting and protection.
In exchange for?
Major boon.
Done.
For the coterie.
Done.
Cool.
I guess we'll be getting to know each other a little better then, Sarah.
Matthews. That's her surname now.
Sarah Matthews.
This is the worst wound I've seen on her. Although the one she had with the crowbar was like pretty nasty. I'm sorry if if I were making it up.
Okay, I honestly thought Sarah had just started laughing. I was like,
Whoa.
whoa.
That was Phil, not
Okay.
Sarah.
Lisa hasn't taught you yet about healing, has she?
How long have you been with you two?
Oh, with the two of us last night. I think she was embraced, what was it, 4 days ago?
4 days.
Maybe 5.
4.
Yeah, 4.
That was someone else who told me about healing, but you didn't heal that?
Given time, you can heal anything.
It's a little harder to do than it looks. Trust me. I'll be fine in a couple of days, but it's the resultant hunger that comes about, the effort that makes it a slow process.
To heal, you need a lot of blood.
A lot. As your brother could probably attest to, having had his own shares.
Yes.
But I'm unwilling, you'll forgive me, to do a gym and try and heal it too quickly.
I do think we need a little bit of an explanation of what happened.
I'll give it to you, but I'd rather... I need to feed on something. I can't go out, so if you have those rats...
Walk down the tunnel.
Rats?
Just get over here, guys.
I'm gonna need a lot, Moses.
I'm gonna
Some
summon.
choose to feed on animals.
So is Fagin an emergency?
No.
Yeah, that's me.
You're gonna need a lot, you say?
You will find that animal blood tastes much worse than human blood.
If you want
and
to have
it gives you much less sustenance.
a rational, clear discussion, then yes, a lot.
If you want to see how many, watch.
'Cause I'm thinking dogs.
Should I try and help somehow? I don't know if I can, but if it helps,
Depends on how you're doing it.
I don't know.
How would you help her?
Moses talking about doing something to feed her. Help
I'm
him
just
somehow?
I'm just gonna get some rats into here. Grab as many as you can. Put them in those cages.
Right.
I'm going to step away from wherever the rats are coming. I'm not intending to collect rats.
Okay.
I'm grab a cage. She's gonna need a couple dozen.
I'll go and stand by one of the cages, which has got a door open, so that when the rats are in, I'll shut the door behind them.
Okay.
I'll go that far.
That's useful, mate.
Right. Make your rolls.
I'm not gathering rats, though.
So it's
This is just you without teamwork because this is discipline.
This is
use.
discipline, yes. This is
And
gonna
then you can do your gathering attempt to try and
be, yeah.
not replicate the events of the
I'm
Jim
gonna
and Moses
willpower
rat
it.
hunt.
Oh, man.
Because it was disgustingly bad.
Yeah.
One success so far.
I still maintain that's one of my
Oh,
favorite
well.
fan arts ever.
Yeah.
The
Four,
Jim and Moses
four
rat hunt.
successes. Four successes.
Four
but no
successes.
critical. Four
Okay.
successes though. I don't know how. I don't know how many that gets you, but
Over
it
the
should be a lot.
din of the cars above, there comes a very, very, very faint clicking noise. It's very faint. And then that clicking becomes a chipping and a chirping. And then scratching. And like one of the worst horror films you could possibly imagine, rats materialize in shadow. Easily between 40 and 50.
Oh, nice.
Spreading through the tunnel.
Come one, come all. Oh, damn.
So, how many successes did you get?
4.
Right, who is making the capture attempts?
Me, I went hungry, so
You
I'm
two.
me.
I will
and him.
assist the capture by
So this
shutting
is
the door.
if you fail this roll, you need to leave the table because you are getting the 4 successes from him, plus
Well, that's
2
a really hard.
for assistance. So you get plus 6 dice whoever's catching.
Oh,
If you fail to catch any rats here,
yeah.
Yeah, sure. What the hell? I'll take it.
Yeah.
What's the roll?
plus 6.
For,
No, what's the actual thing?
Yeah.
What the
Oh,
the ball?
apologies. It's going to be Dex plus Brawl.
Dex.
Oh,
Or athletics.
Animal Ken.
Animal can.
Animal Ken athletics, but the difficulty is going to vary.
So so Dex and animal can or athletics.
Yeah,
Right. So
Plus 6.
I'll go with the athletics.
plus 6 dice.
Yes, because I gave her 4, like the
Plus
amount
6
of rats,
dice.
plus your assistance, plus everything else. Just come.
Sounds like almost so much.
Oh yeah,
And
Willpower.
he doesn't need to willpower.
Really? I was gonna say,
No.
Honestly, why not?
How many?
Don't.
Also,
Why?
how many-
Why would you willpower that?
How many-
Because why not make it a ridiculous amount? If
I mean,
possible.
if I can also get a blood point
I think
because
you're
I went hungry.
underestimating how important willpower is.
I know.
Okay.
Because I went hungry with this.
That was karma.
Because that's still a happy critical for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes.
Okay. How many cages did you have?
3.
You're unaware.
Like,
that you-
but wait, they're like foggy sized.
Yeah.
Like sort of like kennelly.
It takes you a double take to see whether or not this is accurate, but you don't think any rats got away. They are all in the cages. Every single fucking one of them. The noise is deafening.
Yeah, the girl's good. I'm just gonna go and look for one of like a big trash can because we're gonna be like
Yeah,
dropping.
so
dead
you
rats.
move on to do that. You've just had one of the weirdest sensations of your life. You've had to wade through rats, grab them and throw them into a cage. But despite the fact that they were scratching and biting, the speed with which you did it was terrifying. And most of them were caught off guard, and the ones that were aware of what you were doing were more occupied with the effort of fleeing than trying to bite at you. And with Moses moving between the ones that were fleeing and you focusing on just shoveling in the main bulk, and you just slamming the cages shut, they're all cat.
So when Sarah is by the cage and I've shut the last door, I will say very quietly, you see, you can be anything you want.
I look for the big bucket or the trash can or something like a big bin.
Yeah, you find an old black, one of those old
Yeah.
metal dented bins.
That one, and I just put it down next to Katia. Open a cage, grab a rat. Here you go.
Okay.
Here I go. I'll take 1 blood out of that
Okay. You will need to take.
to compensate because I went
Okay.
hungry when
You're
I
gonna need to take about 12 rats.
sort of, yeah.
Okay. What's your blood potency?
Mine 1.
Okay. Yeah. Now for Katia's hunger frenzy.
Oh boy.
With 1 rat.
Let's go for the cages, man.
I have my steak at the ready, just in case.
You've only seen Katia descend on rats or animals this viciously once before.
Once, the poor dog. Were the pigeons? Pigeons.
It was anything.
No, that was me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was
it
the
was a
pigeon.
dog.
Oh no, yeah, no. It was like a dog or,
Yeah.
or something.
You've only seen her go this.
on a dog. Vicious.
But as you lay the bin down and her head turns and the nostrils begin to flare, her eyes narrow, and there's a moment of reflection where she tries to rein herself in. And although there is a brief loss of control and then a recovery, the speed with which she throws herself at that bin to get at the animals inside is terrifying. I mean, you were quick just now, this is worse. And it has the added effect of when she throws herself, it opens the wound. But she doesn't seem to care. And she begins tearing in to these creatures amidst a sea of terrified squeaks and cries of the rodents as she rips them apart.
I think at this point Sarah has the emotion of she's but this is kind of someone with that much wound going at that much force. I think this is the moment where I use that discipline comes into play, where she just kind of more instinctively activates just to get away, and I blink.
Okay.
Oh, you just run out of.
Yeah, just instinctively away. Yeah.
Okay.
I passed the rouse check, so
Okay. This time.
This time.
I'm just far
I wish I had more episodes, man. With her going through the willpower and the blink and the rouse checks, this could have been something magical. She vanishes.
Shit.
And caught between the sound of the banging of the internal part of this can and the quietening squeals of the rats as corpse after corpse is thrown out of this bin, When Katia comes out, she is a mess of rodent blood.
I ask Will, can you go get Sarah, please? I'll take care of Katia.
Where did you go?
Just away.
So probably
Anyway,
through the only door there is, because I doubt she even knows that there is an entrance to the tunnels from here.
Okay. So Will nods, gets up, moves away from Katia as she's feeding, and goes straight after you. She approaches you slowly. Do me a composure plus insight.
I'm guessing my specialty will not apply with this one.
Remind me which it is.
Detect lies.
No.
Uh, 4.
Okay. There's something grounding about Will. You weren't quite certain what it was when you saw it before, but you see in the way that she's looking at you, and you see in her eyes that there is something familiar there. Both terrifyingly familiar and comfortingly, in that she understands what you're currently going through. And you get the feeling that she understands in a way that you haven't yet seen. You've had loads of people telling you that they understand what you're going through. You've had loads of people saying this. But you've not yet believed it to the degree that you do now. And she hasn't said anything. She's just approaching you slowly. And she has her hands wide so that you can see that she has nothing in hands, but the way that she's just looking at you without saying anything makes it clear. And she doesn't approach you after about closing to 2 meters. But she just waits for you to calm. And then she just reaches out with a hand.
What the hell was that? How did...
You're leaving her hanging?
Guys.
Okay. She grabs it lightly, but with a firmness that prevents you from just bolting again. She begins leading you back. That was probably the kindest method of feeding that you were going to see from a hungry kindred. I'd get used to it. She pulls you back towards the group. Katia, still covered, shunts the bin away, and it spins among itself as it rolls to a stop. And Katia just wipes her mouth off, flicks it away.
No, I actually get one of the bowls, go to water so she can wash her face if she wants to.
Okay. And more of the injuries begin to heal slowly. The bits that you can see through the ruins of her clothing begin going over. And the very, very, very edge of the wedge in terms of her injury across the gut slowly begins healing, very slowly, but not by much. But it's clear that she is sufficiently taken on blood that she's more alert and aware. And the way that she looks at you all is less suspicious, less concerned, and less analytical than it would normally be, or than it has been when you've seen her before. And she seems a little bit more focused. Right. What do you want to know? And we will pause there for the break before you start. We will go back into the break. You're there like, right! So, unfold the questions.
Yeah.
So,
No. Relationship map
Okay.
of doom.
So there's not a lot
Not a lot.
to say, but a very significant change has happened with the relationship map, which is
wow, yours is a mess.
somebody. Yeah,
First left corner.
I like to feel like this is sort of a string representation of Benjamin's brain.
Yeah.
So obviously in this corner here, Edmund / Vehement has gone, and that has left a bit of a mess. But I think that is the only major change to the board, unless I've missed anything. So
There are developments.
yeah, clever people will realise that that must mean there have also been changes elsewhere.
In the Board of the Dead. Board of the Dead.
So after 6 days and nights of constant battle, Carlos and I have eventually agreed that
Moses killed Vemin, but I will allow him to have a string.
Moses was involved in the destruction of Vemit's body
As in,
after Benjamin had
Vemit.
killed him.
They will never stop fighting. over this.
Regardless, you will see that Moses and Benjamin have a string going to Edmund.
Where's
slash
Emrys's screen?
Hammond.
String.
Emrys's string?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's around here.
I don't remember seeing Emrys anywhere in the vicinity. Emrys was like...
Here, killed by Emrys.
Emrys...
3 werewolves.
Yeah.
And Jim.
Yeah.
That's his
That's
squad.
his thing.
man.
But he is in no way involved in this. He just wasn't there.
Man.
I mean, maybe if he'd been brave enough to show up, he might have got an assist string, but he wasn't. So
Benjamin said it, not me.
it's true. Jim said it.
Where's the Anatoli string?
An Anatoli string.
Yeah.
He didn't. He just had a chat.
Yeah.
You don't get assist string for having a chat.
We
If
don't?
he distracted him, maybe.
Maybe.
But that is the update on the Board of the Dead and the relationship map.
Do we have any questions?
Oh, we have one from a guest of ours who's in the room.
Oh yes, we have a live audience tonight.
We have
by the way,
live
very
audience
exciting.
again. Casita64 is joining us again.
I've not seen this question.
Uh oh. Oh, what is it?
What is your favourite cartoon character, and what clan do you think they would be?
Whoa.
Cartoon character.
Well,
Oh my god.
my favourite cartoon character is probably Iroh from
Yeah,
Avatar:
The
The
Last
Last
Airbender.
Airbender, and he would be. Oh, I don't know. So many clans he could be.
Oh yeah.
You think Iroh is a Bruya?
Like
As a like an old philosopher king, like
Yeah.
warrior poet kind of.
Yeah, the warrior poet. Come on.
I mean, I suspect I could accept that. We'll probably have like a whole separate string of what clan is Iroh, right? Because it's a good debate to have.
Bugs Bunny, Malkavian. No one's debating it. See?
Yeah,
no one's debating it.
I'm down with Bugs Bunny being Malkavian.
It's hard to come up with a like.
The primary issue is, what is your favourite cartoon character? That, I think, is the main issue.
Yeah. Especially because I mean.
Hang on, is Bugs Bunny
my
your favourite cartoon
no.
character?
No.
Well, answer the question there.
Let's see.
Titus, do you have a favourite cartoon
I
character?
do. Steven Universe and Toreador. It was a toss-up between that and Bruja. But
Boy, Steven.
Oh, Steven Universe. Yep. Okay, we'll sort you out. We'll get Steven Universe because I haven't finished watching all the seasons, so we should do that. Anyway,
Not from this country, my friend.
before episode 39.
I don't know if you could take it. Well, you should be able to come cartoon character. Robin Williams is Genie from Aladdin,
Yes.
who is most definitely a Malkavian.
No, he's a something. Oh, but if we're doing that,
With some serious ass presence.
are we counting Disney as well?
I mean they're animated.
Cartoon.
So.
Baloo.
Oh, Baloo!
Baloo. If we're counting Disney, my favorite character would be Baloo, and they would be. This is a tough one.
That's pretty big talk, little britches.
Because Bagheera is definitely very Ventrue-ish,
I mean,
like old Regal and stuff. But Baloo is not quite Malkavian.
I would have said that was more like King Louis.
King Louis is definitely Malkavian, see? But Baloo is not
I would
that
have said
much.
Venture.
Sorry?
Venture.
This is a dangerous rabbit hole.
It could be La
Yes,
Sombra as
yeah,
well.
the whole, but ultimately, you've got to just
But you
look
say
for the
this is a
bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Más,
Forget
vital
about
no más. I
your-
know the song in Spanish. That's the problem. I know those songs in Spanish.
That's nice.
I
That's
think
fine.
I think we better cut out because otherwise I'm gonna keep singing. I want to
Yeah.
keep singing.
But it's gonna be Baloo.
So,
And it's gonna be Toreador because he's fabulous.
there you go. Are there any other questions?
Cedar wants to know how your days are going.
How my what?
How your days going?
Oh, my day is going actually. Well, I arrived home straight to get a shower. I was completely destroyed and exhausted, so it didn't go well until the stream.
So my day's going okay, but I'm quite tired and there's a bit too much going on, and I may be sometimes babbling incoherently, much to Mitch's joy.
Sometimes.
About various things. Sometimes, thank you. Yeah. I may have said some things which luckily were not recorded and put on the internet. But otherwise my day is fine. Thank you for asking.
Well, I'm a little sore. Work was a little tough today. But hey ho, that's the way of the world.
Go on then, Titus, how's your day? You know you want to tell us.
I'll sum it up by saying, you guys at home and you guys here make a sad man very happy.
Any more questions?
So,
Plus have chocolate.
Hida wants to know which clan you think would embrace you.
Which
Sorry.
clan?
Which clan would embrace us
Yes.
personally?
Yeah, personally.
Only can I think would embrace me would be Gangrel.
Who do we think would embrace each other?
That's also like a weird.
That's another weird question, but I think we have to talk about ourselves first.
Andrew. Lucky
I will second Malkavian.
I'm.
Your delusion is just that you're always a bit tired.
Oh, I want to see that.
No, your delusion is you go into a blind rage if no one asks you what you had for breakfast.
Yeah, it's true, I
It
do.
is part of
I
it.
do that. Yeah.
Already.
And if they're not
true.
punctual.
Yeah, Ventru, Malkavian, Bruya.
My brewer.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
It's like, Fury Frenzy! Ha ha! You fall into our
I
trap!
shake my chocolate at you, sir.
I shake my Java cake back.
I don't know about Mitch, but Mitch's hair is Toreador.
Yeah, Mitch's hair is definitely Toreador.
Just the hair.
I would assume, like, well, if we're rating who would
I feel
embrace
like
us.
like a ghoul.
Yeah.
Use me to grow wings.
Yeah, a ghoul. Mitch Hairwig. If I were to say who would embrace me. Oddly enough, La Sombra. We already speak the same language.
See.
Yes, because you are so dark and shadowy as a person, the last summer will
Of
be
course.
completely.
Because that's his stereotype. No, I believe it would be, if we go strictly by stereotypes, it could be either Tremere, because I'm, well, like, deal a lot.
Because you're
with-
magic.
Because I'm magical. No, because I usually deal with, I used to work in a lot of research and a lot of, so I come from a heavy academic and scientific background. Or that's it.
Okay,
Maybe.
so
No, La Sombra. La
good
Sombra
questions so far. They've got us thinking. Any more friends?
You have no idea?
Should
Oh,
we do
yeah,
a
no,
little
Kevin, apparently.
quick fire round?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright,
Yes.
quick fire.
Questions.
Go.
Okay,
Right. What's better, demons or ghosts?
demons.
Demons.
Ghosts.
Demons, what a vibe.
Yeah.
What's better, lasagna or pizza?
Lasagna.
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 Can we have lasagna on pizza? I know, it's like a whole new utopia.
What I was just saying, Malkavian.
I mean, a lasagna.
Next.
Lasagna.
Lasagna?
Yeah.
Liquid soap or solid soap?
Liquid soap.
Solid
Liquid
soap.
soap.
Good soap.
Solid soap.
And the most important question, yeet or bazinga?
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Bazinga!
Yeet.
What's Jeet? What's Jeet?
I don't know, but my son says it, so I'm going to say
Of course,
yeet.
a scorpion. Was...
Out of sort of solidarity.
You guys are gonna love chat throughout this because this is insane.
Jeet.
I love you, chat.
Yeet.
What's your favourite brand of soap? Or favourite, like...
Love hearts. Carex still love hearts.
Imperial leather.
Yeah.
Oh, brand of soap.
I don't know.
I don't. You kind of just go in and grab soap. Don't you?
I go and
Malt-
grab a soap bar and that's it. And then think, oh, this doesn't smell like flowers or stuff, and that's the one I use.
Molten brown. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm making it. It's nice, but.
My favourite brand is the Pilfered brand, as we've discovered through this game.
Last question.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favourite board game?
I know mine.
I mean,
There is a very fun Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, is that the traitor one?
Because, you start playing and then in the middle of the game, someone's a silent, and my friends and I have that. Like, whenever someone is acting strange or funny, you're like, silent! And so I think it brings back a lot of memories. Although, I will say, for some of my friends who are watching this, Werewolf, and I'm still not responsible for what happened, okay? She did it on her own. But Werewolf is actually very good. Very, very good. Although it's not technically a board game.
I mean, for me, my personal favorite that I've experienced so far in life is Betrayal at House on the Hill. As my personal favorite, but I mean, Secret Hitler does come a close second. Because that's fun, and you're a liar. I don't know. Yeah, friendships are left aside.
Twilight Imperium. If you like Stellaris, play Twilight Imperium.
We do
In
like-
which one
we
game
do
will
like
be
Stellaris.
8 or
Just
10 hours.
8
of
or 10
structure.
hours.
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing.
Speaking of Stellaris, dibs today. It's my turn. Okay.
What?
I just said it.
I heard that. We all heard that, did.
I called dibs. The BS4 is mine.
Yeah, you can actually prove it.
Yeah. What was Story and Code's question, by the way? Because
Sorry.
one got asked.
I
Before we run out of time.
While you're looking, does Hero Quest count as a board game or Space Crusade? Because I've got very happy memories of playing that.
Heroes Quest, no, but board game. It has to be like a board game.
Hero Quest was a board game. It had a board, had figures, you moved them
Here's
around.
another one then. What's your favourite card game?
The Game of Thrones, the old Fantasy Flight games, Game of Thrones card game. Very, very good because you could, it would have a little board as well, but it would be a card game and you could build the houses and stuff. I remember buying it in camp with the basic, 4 of the basic houses, Stark, Baratheon, Lannister, and Targaryen, and then you could buy other expansions, and it would be like, it started to feel Magic the Gathering in which, buy the new expansion with the new cards and stuff, but no, they just wanted to sort out all the factions, and it became like a really interesting game.
Oh my god, hang on, there's a board game I've just remembered, which is my favourite board game that no one else has ever heard of, called something like Domination or something like that, and it's basically a bit like space chess, but you can... I don't want to bore you with a long description, but if someone out there has played it, please talk to me, because no one else has played it. And it's like you have to capture the flagship, but you can build your little ships, have lots of range, but they can get taken by all the other ships. And the little ships can build on the medium ships to become new ships that are more powerful, but then you have less pieces, and then you can put those on another ship to make battleships. It's
But then
really
you
cool.
have- okay.
And then you have less pieces, but they can take lots of pieces and they move. It's great.
Do
But I'm
mini-
the only person in the world who's played it. If you've played it, then let me know.
Do miniature games count in any of these questions? Because I really like
suppose so.
Necromunda.
I'd say my favourite card game is Vampire the Eternal Struggle.
Jihad was good.
Mine's probably 2s and 8s.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh!
I haven't played it.
I really like it.
What was the question?
Okay, there's one question for just Peter.
Oh,
Peter.
I'm
And
excited.
it's, how are you enjoying playing Benjamin?
Benjamin!
There's the
I'm-
Benjamin.
I'm having a lot of fun playing Benjamin.
It's nice,
Thank
isn't
you.
it?
It's nice. It's
Benjamin?
nice to have a change. Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin.
No, Venjamin.
Benjamin.
As in venge.
Oh, Benjamin.
Benjamin. Benjamin.
Benjamin. Yeah, someone said something like that. But Benjamin and Simon, Benjamin, and I went like, that sounds like a Digimon. And then someone in chat said it.
So this is what I've been like most of the day, if anyone's wondering.
The Sugar Rush.
Yeah, I promised to
I'm just high on
keep
life.
running late night L5 hour sessions just to have this for the rest of the week. Because this is a gift that keeps on giving.
I need to attend one of those at some point in the future.
Yeah.
And you need to attend mine.
L5
Thank you,
hour,
guys.
L5
Thank you
hour,
for the questions,
game of the future.
chat.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. You are beautiful people.
And I love watching your responses because it's amazing so much. It's just like, I'm just gonna be
Mitch,
like,
tell
I
him
love
to
it.
get
Yeah.
out of the chat.
Carlos and I will catch up
Yeah.
in the week when we watch the VOD.
We'll watch
Yeah.
later.
So
We hang off every word, so don't worry.
cool.
Your turn.
Oh, yes.
So
So what happened?
well, that depends. How much do you already know?
I know that I actually pretty much know nothing. I helped Benjamin last night with an issue that he had. Yes, I will roll.
Yes,
I
you
believe
will.
it's- what is it? Manipulation
Manipulation plus subterfuge.
plus subterfuge. Does my impeccable lie specialty apply?
Sure.
Okay.
Have you got 100 dice now?
Sorry. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Oh boy.
Huh.
Gotta use that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Resistance to it.
You get the feeling as you look at Katia that not only does she not believe you, but there is a tenseness which overcomes her, which completely diminishes the comfortableness that she had adopted a moment ago. How much do you know, Moses?
As I said, I was helping Benjamin yesterday with an issue. I do know that Edmund was no longer Edmund. He was the leader of the Sabbat. And he was in a very poor state yesterday. So I killed him.
What's your reaction to that? Are you hiding it? Or are you...
I think there's probably a moment of... Because obviously whilst in some ways he's decided he's made peace with this, in another way there is that reminder of, it was so good, he could have had it. So there'll be a flicker of anger that will go across his face. And then...
But he's not hiding it.
No.
Okay.
I'll say he did help me. And Edmund's been dead a long time, but now that thing that was wearing his body is gone too. You should have seen it, Katia. There's nothing been like it before. Or since, I think.
I've already seen it. How long are you intending to be with us? And more to the point, how close are you to Lisa Ketting?
I don't think I'm close at all. I don't know.
She's staying with us or near us at least until she is acknowledged as a
And do you
neonate.
trust her?
I do not distrust her, if that's what you're asking.
Do you?
Yes. I trust her to make the right choices.
I don't. Which is why I need to do something before I continue speaking.
Okay.
And she reaches into a bag, and her thumb comes out black. And she gestures for you to come close.
What are you gonna do?
Make sure that you're not lying. If you're not going to lie to me, you have nothing to fear. Of course, if you don't want it on your head, then we stop having this conversation until you leave.
Looking forward
she marks you on the forehead, and you feel almost like it's ash stays on your forehead. Okay. It's warm. I don't recommend touching it. Do you have any intention of sharing anything at all I say to anyone else?
No.
Are you lying? I'm going to ask that same question of you when we finish here.
Okay.
As you know, I've been away with Katia.
Sabine.
Not Katia. Sabine. Oh, the wound. I've been away with Sabine for a while. Sabine is a lot more involved with kindred politics than even I thought. And as you're aware, our approach to the development of our clan is a little different than, well, what any old kindred would consider to be of use, of importance.
Was this what Sabine meant when she talked about progress in your clan?
We've all seen them. We've seen the old kindred which refuse to change. We all know that things are changing. We've all been witness to it. We all have lived in the world that they haven't. And we know that things aren't going to stay the same. We know that things are going to change for the worse. And Sabine knows this as well. And nothing is going to change as long as the person in charge is hesitant to allow it to. I think you'll all agree that having Emrys in charge has not exactly been to our collective benefit.
He failed to do his duty,
Yes.
and people died for it.
Emrys is a monster. It's hard to live as long as he has, I suppose, and not be a monster, but he is a monster that is in control of London. And I'm not pretending that Sabine or I have done any of this with altruistic motives. That's not the point. But our survival is dependent on our ability to adapt, and with him in charge we cannot. So Sabine has taken steps to ensure that Emrys is not going to be a problem. But you already know this.
Actually, I heard some whispers about it.
What whispers? Since we're sharing.
Not exactly what you're mentioning, but Plucky Jake did mention that Sabine... I don't know if he meant literally or figuratively had given enough indication, so if you haven't seen many Nosferatu in the last few nights, that's probably it. A lot of them have been kept into the warrens, and the only reason I've not been stuck underground is because of my duties as a hound. That's why I'm asking the question, what happened?
Well, our mutual acquaintance Plucky Jake provided Sabine with the location of Emrys's haven. And Sabine provided that location to your sire, who she has suspected since you went to see her and provided a sample of his blood that he is not Edmund anymore.
No.
Was.
Edmund has been dead since then.
Yes. But based upon what you also told her about what she knows from your encounter over at the storage, she surmised that that being is Vehement.
Was. Put a bullet through his skull myself.
I put my teeth into his neck.
Excellent. one loose end tied up, I suppose. But earlier this evening, we let the information pass, knowing that it was too big a target for him to ignore, really. We also know that there are Sabbat in the city that haven't been caught and that are being laid low until given a reason to do otherwise. So we gave them a target.
Did they come too?
Who?
The Nosferatu.
I don't know. I didn't see this.
The ones in the Warrens. The ones that attacked Moses.
I don't know. All I know is that the information was passed along, and it was made to suggest that the prince had a momentary lapse in his own security, and that the time window was limited. So they attacked. And based upon what we knew and what we'd been able to see, certainly myself and Will weren't in the thick of it, Vement was badly injured by Emrys. Outnumbered though he was, Emrys is far older. And Vement fled, I'm assuming in a frenzy. The rest of the Sumat remained, but they were cut down. Not without dealing their own measure of injuries and their own collateral, but they were cut down. And then when the prince tried to summon the constable, Sabine finished performing a blood magic ritual that we'd been preparing for some time since our habitual engagements with the constable, which allowed her to fall free of her blood bond.
You can break a blood bond.
Sabine can. And only then with the information provided by our now missing regent. But it was performed, and the prince was not expecting to be attacked, not so suddenly, and certainly not by someone he considered to be completely in his thrall, as she had been for hundreds of years. But on her own, she still wouldn't have succeeded. But Sabine has been taking steps to ensure the loyalty of the local anarchs. As you can imagine, them being stepped on periodically by the Camarilla and by Emrys has not earned them any enduring loyalty. So when Sabine made her move, it was with the anarchs, as well as someone else we all know, the Smiling Man. I don't know what he did, I just know he was involved. With the assurance from Sabine that this now robs us of any dealings with the Smiling Man, that we don't have to worry about him anymore.
As in how?
I don't know, this is just what she said. Part of the agreement is that he will be vacating that hospital. I don't know why. I'm assuming that he's been given something more lucrative. I've not been shared the details. All I know is that that hospital is going to be free at the end of the month. And our territory will expand considerably. I don't know the details. But
Did they succeed?
the anarchs they did. But it wasn't cheap. And the constable fled before she could be...
She's alive.
She is free of a blood bond which kept her in check, Moses. I wouldn't look to her to be an ally.
No.
And
But I still
in the
care.
effort of her escaping, she gave me this parting gift. And she gestures to the open wound. I didn't see anything more than that. I was dragged from there by Will.
Okay.
But You will keep this secret, you understand?
Yes,
Tell me you will keep it secret.
I will keep it secret.
Are you lying?
Sorry.
I wasn't witness to what followed next, Moses, but Emrys isn't the only one who has been removed. Deacon Rhodes has also been removed by members of the Anarchs.
There was a lot of discontent among them.
He's been removed under the standing agreement from Sabine that they will be given positions of power once Emrys is removed in the Camarilla.
Will the Bruya gain a representation in the Primogen Council?
Primogen Council is among the things that they will stand to gain. I don't know the details, I just know that there is motivation and that Deacon Rhodes has not delivered on whatever it is he's promised. And there are a lot of people that aren't happy with him.
Yes, I know. Alice was one of them.
Alice was also one of the ones that stands to gain. From my understanding, whether she actually did or not, I don't know. As I said, I was not exactly in a position to witness.
She used to disagree a lot with Deacon, but she would be loyal to him.
Well, I guess there's some things that they won't agree on. You specifically.
Yeah. Now, no prince, no constable,
However,
no Malkavian Primogen.
your fellow hounds went missing.
I've been calling them. They tried to contact me, but by the time they tried to reach me, we were dealing with Vemond.
I hope
Simon,
you're not close to any
Edmund,
of them.
him. Sorry?
I hope you're not close to either of them.
Well, not particularly, but we all fought for the same
We don't
cause.
know.
Ish? Let's say we were all religiously on the same page. Other than that, I was just following orders, Katia. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them.
I don't know where they stand. I don't know.
I know. I do. I can guarantee you both of them are more loyal to Jacqueline than they will ever be to anybody
And that's
else.
the thing. We don't know where she stands. Her loyalty wasn't to the Camarilla. It was to the prince.
No.
And that was against her own will.
Exactly. Her loyalty, probably her heart, still in France. And she will be looking to go back. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think she holds much love for London, let alone England.
Well, we don't know. And given everything that's happened, I don't know how much risk Sabine is willing to take.
Okay.
So prepare
Let me try to
yourself.
find her. And if I can arrange it, again, I know a couple of clansmates, specifically in France. I can get in touch with them on Shreknet and see what's the situation there. Maybe I can buy Jacqueline a little bit of peace by letting her go back to her home.
Whatever you plan on doing, I recommend you hold off. At least for a little while until court is called.
Okay. So I would assume that the Primogens of the Toreador, Tremere with Sabine, and Nosferatu are still standing. What happened to Cash? Where did he stand in all this?
All I know, Moses, because I haven't been clued into everything, is that in a week's time, Sabine will elevate to the princedom. She's taken steps to ensure that it happens.
Cool.
So don't go and do anything which is going to cause problems. I don't know what her stance is with Jacqueline.
I will not. But Katia, you know me. If anything,
Yes, I know you, which is
solving
why I'm warning
problems,
you, Moses.
I will just try to locate her. I'm not that big of an idiot. But I would really appreciate if you would do a favor for me. See if you can find anything about Alice. I've not been able to get in touch with her, and
I'm not exactly in a position to do that, Moses.
I can give you access to the outside world without leaving this place. But you are the only other person that is somewhat technologically minded and knows how to use part of my kit.
No offense, Benjamin. I'll try, Moses, but I'm not promising anything.
No, but at least it will be the both of us looking. You can stay here, all of you, for as long as we need to hold up. And if need be, I'll try to change the menu to cats and rats some days. Maybe dogs.
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Several things, but we can just talk about it later. You also need to rest. Sarah.
Yeah.
This coterie has a collection of people. We were thrown together by chance. Emery's put us all in the same box because we showed up at the same time. One thing that we have in common, including your brother and now you, is that our sires, or what was left of them at the end, were the biggest piles of shit you could find in this society. Sabine has been a friend.
Is Oliver gone?
You want help sorting that out if it isn't?
He's not gone, but he's no longer an issue. And she gestures again, vaguely, with clear zero intention of explaining further, to the empty socket of her eye.
Oh, pay attention to that.
If you end up painting this again, Benjamin, I swear to God I will end you.
I'm not planning on doing any painting for a while.
He was doing it for Edmund, not himself.
So your sire is not a problem. Mine is dead. Yours is not a problem anymore.
What do you mean?
I didn't get a chance to tell you.
No, do tell.
Alicia won't be bothering us anymore. If she has any courage, she'll be long gone now. And if she doesn't, she'll have fled far away.
What do you mean?
Can you confirm that, or is this just
I left her to
Arcadian
face.
whimsy?
I left her to face the sun. Whether she's
Staked?
no, but she was not in a state. I've not seen anyone in that state before. I don't know what was done to her exactly.
Where was this?
In a caravan.
You found her like that?
I was taken to her
By who?
by Anatoli.
Soapy.
Yes.
I feel like I'm missing a very important and significant conversation.
I think we all need to catch up, but before we get into that, can you give me the address?
Yes.
I need to know. You need to know.
Yes.
But definitely Sarah needs to know if her sire is gone. And we need confirmation.
She's gone, one way or the other. She won't be coming back. There's not much left of her, Moses. But I'll give you the address.
If Jim was any indication of the powers of the blood of Alicia and now Sarah, she's tougher to kill than any of us could imagine. I would rather have confirmation.
She's already dead inside.
Regardless of what we decide, I recommend that in the next few nights we remain.
Yeah, agreed.
And we don't go running around provoking any sort of response.
Nope.
What about your sire, Moses?
No, never met him.
Ah,
He's back home in the States. I assume he left town.
Talking about people, this won't get out?
Well,
Because I was another person threatening to kill me if this got out.
this is...
who threatened you, Sarah?
Someone looking for Moses and a prophet.
Someone who knows me? And they...
Someone came to me who wanted to find the prophet. What did this person look like?
He called himself the alderman. You know him?
Did he have stringy hair?
Yes.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes. With you saying that you can heal this, he taught me how to heal because he smashed my throat in. I didn't know.
Moses, what's wrong?
Moses? I'm gonna slowly.
I wouldn't. Moses.
That's my sire.
Oh, fantastic.
If any of you see the fucker, you let me know immediately.
I saw him.
He dies.
No. What did I just say? We keep a low profile. We can't afford to go out and do things like that.
He's not looking for us, he's looking for Anatoli.
Yeah, but if he goes looking for him...
Where's Anatoli? Where is he staying?
I don't.
fuck's sake.
He was staying with me, but he's not there now.
Give him a call.
I don't have a number for him. But he will find me. So I will speak to him again.
Think
don't
about
need-
what you're doing, Moses.
You don't need to worry about Anatoli.
Thinking of now other things. I'm trying to distract my head. Anatoli and his
If you
friend.
want me to put out my feelers to see whether or not Alice is even still alive, then you will call it.
There is gonna be a new prince in town. Anatoli and his friend Lucia, or
Who's
something.
Sita.
Her. They are new.
She
They need
doesn't
to
like
introduce-
your sire. She,
That looks like a girl I want to meet.
yes.
And I can offer them safe haven here.
I think she might like me. I could talk to her for you.
Please get them here. I will make arrangements so they can stay here.
I don't have a number for her. They found me. But don't worry, they'll find me again, I know that.
I need to check on Lucy. She's in my condo. And Sarah, you seem like you need a distraction. You want to come with me.
Yes. Is this needed on anymore, or if we're going to go?
That depends. Have we done talking?
There's something I want to say to you.
Then not yet.
So I'll look at and say, you've always been kind to me, and you believed me when I told you about what I saw in the tunnels. So I want to tell you something. You're not going to like it.
Seems to be the common thing nowadays, but...
Sabine is building a castle of sand on the beach. There's going to come a time when it won't matter what she's made. Everything is going to burn here. So you and Will should make preparations to flee London. I'll tell you when. Believe me, I've seen it. I saw it last night. No. I saw it today. I saw it today. It's going to happen. It's not the first time, and I'm not the only one that knows. I'm telling you this because you believed me before. Moses is the only one I think that will be safe, whatever happens. I think you are not protected. I think you'll need to flee when the time comes.
She goes quiet. And it's clear from the way that her gaze flickers briefly, but lingers on you, that she's not just out and out ignoring what you're saying. As much as she is trying to.
Yeah.
And it's clear. She's not making any efforts to hide
Mm.
the fact that she's trying to. It's more like she's trying to hide the fact that she is at least unwittingly or otherwise hearing what you're saying.
Mm. And
there is a part of her that is concerned by it. She does her best to try and hide it, but this is Katia.
Mm.
And it's clear that Will believes you, because she moves closer to Katia.
It's not going to happen yet, but it will.
Gathered that, otherwise we wouldn't still be in the city. Any idea when this will happen?
No, but I'll let you know. I'll give you time. Just make your preparations.
Right. You can take that off now.
I go into the car, grab one of my laptops and an Ethernet cable. She will have her access to the dark web. Nothing on ShrekNet. Actually, I put her on the
Just before you do,
normal servers.
Katia, as she lifts herself up, stops by you, turns and faces you. If you tell anybody about what we've just discussed, that sigil will burn through your skull into your brain and turn it to liquid. Okay? She turns and walks off.
I just hand her hand wheel a laptop, an Ethernet connection to normal internet. She's not running through those servers. I log in. I just realized that after the last 4.5 days, I have not logged in, and I don't want the 1 week trigger to go off like crazy. I log in, put on all the security subroutines, and ask Benjamin, "Are you going somewhere tonight?"
I don't have plans. I was going to go back to my flat.
Can I use your car?
Yes? Do you want me to come?
If you wish. And I start walking out.
Follow.
So did Will stay when Katia went?
Oh, she's still in the same place. She hasn't left.
Oh, she's just kind of
yeah,
gone.
I mean, she's
just made like a dramatic
Yeah, she's made a
shift
dramatic removal from the conversation.
Sure.
She's still in the vicinity of the haven. She's not in a state to leave.
I will follow, but I would like to pause and look at Will in that kind of, you know what I've said is true. Just give her a look for a moment, nod to her, and then start heading out.
Will is perhaps more speechless than you've seen her in a while. I mean, of all the things that she was expecting to hear that you were warning them about, Castle of Sand type cryptic messages.
Burn.
She's clearly like, but she just kind of nods and then moves off very promptly after Katia. So where is everyone heading?
I drive with them I just drive to my condo, but on the way, I stop at the church.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure, I want to see if, after the last 3 days, I can still get a hold of Jim's and Amelia's body for proper burial.
Okay. The church is locked. And the signs up outside suggest that it's closed for refurbishment and restoration.
I try to get a hold of, knocking on the door on the side access to see if the father is there, Jeremiah.
Have you told us what you're doing on the way in?
Oh yes, I told him I'm gonna check with all that has happened. I'm gonna check. This is where gems in Amelia's bodies are being kept. And I asked the priest to get them ready after 3 days of wake for a burial. So, just give me a second. I go around and try to effectively break into headquarters.
Okay. Make a roll.
I assume
This is going to be strength because you're not going to be able to subtly unlock this. It's been barred.
No, I'm going around and trying to get access in other places unless everything has been
Everything
barred.
has been barred.
I go to the place where
This is a
unbarring
walking
something.
masquerade breach. It is barred.
Yeah. So I go to the place where unbarring would be hurt the least, or I can get away the most with.
So we'll say strength plus athletics.
I would be helping.
Okay, +1.
I'm going to be just cocking my head and listening with heightened senses to try and hear any sound of anyone. I'll go round to maybe one of the windows or something where there's slightly less thick stuff, just if I can hear the sound of a person moving inside at all.
Okay. Wits plus awareness.
Plus all specs one seems, yeah. Okay.
5 successes.
Okay.
Thanks for the extra dice. No critical. No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Yes, yes it is.
Now rouse.
No.
Achilles heel. Beat is 9. Okay. There is a sound inside,
Yes.
but it is very faint. And it sounds just like the movement of a rock. But it's... and then nothing.
So it doesn't sound like a person is in there. Do I think...
Did you get a critical win?
No, but I did get 9. But no, I didn't get a crit win.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds... You can roughly place where it is.
Is it where the trapdoor was under the desk?
It's closer to where the door to Jacqueline's office would have been.
Okay.
But you can't be sure whether it's a person or not.
Okay.
It might just be like rodents or something.
Okay.
But you know there's movement inside.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go to where these two are doing their.
Well, probably I'm already like jumped and started breaking in.
There is a moment, especially with your oral specs, that when you were of glass being broken, not the stained glass, because you're not that brave.
No.
You hit the glass and you manage to get it just so that you crack the glass and separate it away from its binding, but not enough to send it shattering inwards. It's enough that you can curl the glass, because it is still attached to itself, inwards. And with considerable effort, you can either try and peel it away, or you could fit the smaller member of your coterie through it.
Oh no, I'm not sending her alone.
I'm gonna climb up.
I'm going.
I'm gonna climb up to where he is, if that's okay.
Okay.
I can't leap, obviously, but it sounds like you were slightly higher up somehow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll
it's not high up.
Okay.
Get up.
It's not super high. It's just like.
So it's a case of removing
higher.
the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say to you, let me.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Silence of Death, and I'm going to pull the window out.
Okay.
Not like yank it, but ease it. Yeah, because I don't want it to shatter, but...
Okay.
And then a piece falls and I go like, oh.
Between the two of you, I mean, you don't struggle so much removing the window as you do trying not to dislodge Moses from the perch that he's gotten.
Okay.
But you do manage to peel away the window, and it's weird. You're watching him do this, but there is nothing. It is silent. You've seen this before, but now it's kind of just as impressive when he's doing it. And as everything comes away and the hole is made, you can see into the black interior of the church.
I will say, before you go in, I'll say... I'll drop Silence of Death and say...
Yeah.
Something is in there.
So, more likely someone. Let me go in. And I just go inside, start... I assume I would have landed a side, go downstairs into the main nave.
So you're going quiet?
Sorry?
Are you going quiet?
No.
Okay.
I walk at a normal pace. I'm not going loudly. I'm not kicking stuff.
Okay.
But I'm not making any effort to sneak in. I go all the way to the nave, kneel down, genuflection, sign of the cross.
From this point in the window, could I see through here to where the door to the office is, or would I need to go in to see that?
You'd need to go in a bit.
I'll go in.
Where you're currently perched, there is like the stone wall comes in and turns.
Yeah.
So this
Fine.
little alcove up here is where the altar is.
I'll go in.
And the office is up and around there. Okay, so you're moving in as well.
Yeah.
You're left outside.
I drop in, and it is dark in here, I'm guessing.
Are you going in as well? Are you?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I doubt Sarah will want to stay alone.
Okay, right.
outside.
So for you, strength plus stealth. You've had your leaping ability. You had silence of death. She doesn't have either.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is in a public street, and this looks like a break-in and entry.
Yeah, boy.
You can do it.
2.
Feel willpower, it's 3, just saying.
Did you willpower?
No.
Oh, God damn it. How much willpower do you have left out of interest?
I got 4 points left.
For now.
But only 4 now.
So, it is black inside. So I'm guessing you're gonna... You can see the inside of this chamber. And what you all collectively note, less relevant to you, this place just looks like the church is currently being remodeled, refurbished. And the fact that it's been locked away is because it's unsafe. But to you guys, the areas where the place was damaged is currently being... it's basically being remade. It's being remodeled, reconstructed. There is everything in here that would suggest this is a legitimate attempt to refurbish this church. But every
probably there are
place,
claw marks in some areas that need to be
there is
removed.
nothing. Yeah, there is nothing that you can spy, looking where you know you need to look, that would suggest claw marks or anything that would go, "What the fuck is this?" It looks like a genuine refurbish attempt, and this is done pretty quickly by all comparisons. The amount of change that's been done, but the place is not functional. Hence the reason it's been sealed off.
Okay.
You can't see anyone in there. You can't see anyone in there.
Well, I'm
You're just wondering. Well, apart
I
from
am.
Moses,
I'm
who's
in
wandering
the in
now.
the middle of the thing in front of the like kneeling down. Just a quick prayer, and then just at the end, just take care of Alice. Take care of Jacqueline.
What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to go to where I heard the sound. I will be reactivating Silence of Death. I will be using all specs, obviously, to see in the dark.
You're not hidden, though, are you?
I am not hidden currently. Okay. I'm not obfuscated visually. I will just be like purposefully but slowly approaching the point where I heard the noise, and I'll be looking to see for signs of something.
Okay. What are you doing?
I am just kind of trying to look around, trying to see what they're doing, because they're split off different ways. Knowing where I am, so just kind of staying looking around, trying to be on guard.
Walk towards the lower level in which the bodies were kept.
Okay. So.
I'll follow him. I guess gets moving there.
Yeah, that if I see you inside, I just go like, and I gesture for you to follow me.
Okay.
You see the eyes.
Before you move, before you rise, you feel something press against the side of your head. And then as you turn and glance out of your peripheral, you see Nancy there with a shotgun placed against your temple. And it's almost as though you've kind of just blinked and she's just materialized. It's times like this I bet you wish you'd answered your fucking phone.
I check my phones.
Do you want to tell me why you didn't answer him then?
Because yesterday I was with Benjamin killing the leader of the Sabbat. Found him. He had found him. I don't know. Someone told him that he was wounded.
Are either of you still moving?
No, I'll have stopped when she appeared.
Okay.
Benjamin called me. Apparently we were going to look for Edmund, but apparently Edmund was the Vehement, the leader of the Sabbat. So I was with him, and we were taking care of this guy. And he was an old vampire, and even though he was fucked, I put a bullet through his skull.
Okay. I'll let you choose between manipulation plus persuasion or charisma plus subterfuge.
Charisma plus subterfuge because I'm.
The difficulty is going to be different.
Yeah, I'm just telling half truths.
Okay.
Am I currently in Nancy's field of vision?
Yeah. She is positioned where she is watching you both.
Okay.
I rouse. Yes, because I assume that my impeccable lies specialty.
No, it's more half truth. It's not a full blown lie.
Yeah, that's why I rouse instead of putting the specialty in. Okay, I have 4 successes so far, 5 successes so far, and I'm not gonna re-roll because I have a 10 on my single hunger die, and that is tempting fate to have a bestial, like a messy critical.
Hang on a minute. I feel honor bound to say to him at this point, no, you should do it.
Yeah.
You should spend that willpower point and roll those dice. What could possibly go wrong? You'll do really well, etc., etc., etc. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Well, actually, if I fail, if I fail this roll, she will probe my brains because she's Bruya and she will not have it. Especially me lying in the house of the
You
Lord.
also know that these weapons carry similar ammunition.
The same bullets I have. Also, lying in the house of the Lord to her face. She's not gonna appreciate it. I will spend willpower, and I will get your
Oh no! Don't do that.
the messy critical
Too
you
late.
want me to
He's
get.
shaking those
Oh
dice.
my god! What have I done?
Oh no! Yes.
It is literally as it is like karma coming back.
4, 5, 6.
Oh my god! It's a huge number.
10 successes, critical win.
Damn it.
Okay.
But
Messy.
messy critical win. But 10 successes.
You beat my one for the day.
Okay.
No, wait.
Somewhere in your haven, Katia's like, oh, what was that? I feel as if someone somewhere hasn't followed my advice.
10 successes, messy critical.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
dude, but our karmic ledgers are now even.
I had to. I mean, we couldn't end one of the times with you being the only one.
No, now I feel like we've come back into balance. So I'm sorry for whatever's about to happen. I'm sorry.
And there are Jake Pubs in chat, so we're fine.
Okay.
I mean, the lie is good.
When you
It's the only thing that's good.
when you begin speaking, there is a part of you which is well aware that you are, well, there's a very large part of you that is well aware you are lying. You're lying in a church. You are lying to someone you trust to a degree.
At least respect.
And you're doing this in a place that is of vital importance to someone that you really admire. And the aggression that comes out in your speech and the way you are moving is lost on you until the final moment. And although she steps back and lifts the weapon from your temple, you are well aware that, without meaning to, the cross that you were originally holding is now buckled and bent. And you are well aware that this is Jacqueline's cross.
So there you have it. But then I returned the call. You did not answer.
I was a bit tied up.
Likewise. And then I returned the call this morning. Didn't hear from you.
Again, a bit tied up.
So can you please, take the shotgun off of the chest of the guy who has been also a little bit tied up?
Sure.
I start trying to see if it's on.
It's very solid metal. Unless you're using potence to try it. And
No,
you get the general idea, it's probably not wise for you to try.
No, I'm not gonna potence it back into shape. I will pay for a professional to do it. So I just put it in my bag. Actually, I'm not wearing this. I just put it in my bag. What happened? Now I take a look at her as much as the light allows me.
She's dishevelled, and her attire, she's lacking her jacket, but the tank top that she has is not ruined. At a distance, you could guess that the tears and stuff in it are a means of like a fashionable design, but you recognise that they're not. She's obviously been cut underneath. Fortunately, the colour of the fabric is very dark, which hides the fact that she's bled out as much as her kindred will. But it doesn't look like a masquerade kind of injury. She's certainly healed underneath.
So she does not look
She doesn't look injured.
like massive. Okay.
I'm going to approach, not rapidly, but
You still
slowly.
got silence
No,
on?
I'm going to drop it.
Okay.
And I will say to Nancy, are Amelia and Jim's bodies still here?
No,
That's actually what we
they
came
were
to.
removed when we started refurbishments.
Where are they?
Buried.
Can you please at least tell us where Jim is so his sister can pay her respects?
Sure. And she mentions the name of a cemetery, which isn't actually that far away from here. It's a larger church, a younger church, certainly, but a larger church. It's actually one that you passed by before, but it's not a place where you probably would have chosen for Jim to be buried, but the sounds of it, he's been buried, so don't expect to find the grave mark. You've already had a Jim stone.
Where's Jacqueline?
I don't know. I've been here waiting for her, just in case she came back.
Where's Gideon? He was in no shape after the attack of the lupines. So please tell me he didn't go yesterday.
No, Gideon's fine. Hear that, Mitch? Happy now?
Okay. So we have the hounds alive or unliving. And the constable is missing. And I assume you already heard or were there when Embry's fell, right?
Sorry, I have a large number of notes that I need to double check before I say something wrong.
Just make the mistake and tell us more.
No, I'd have to kill you.
Something try.
Vanish. He tried and
wouldn't
succeeded
help,
with
yeah.
Jim. That's not gonna help.
Yes,
Yeah.
T oversees all of those.
Yeah, never bait the ST.
Right, what did you say? Start again.
You were looking at your notes and I was like, yeah, time for a Jaffa. Reminds me of, well, I assume you know what happened last night. Probably were there when Embry's fell.
Yes.
Which side were you on? And this is a question I know that we already know the answer for.
Depends on which side you're referring to.
Like when all hell broke loose.
I was on Jacqueline's side.
What did I tell you? The house-
Although, it doesn't seem to mean much at the moment.
Were you there when the Sabbat attacked?
No.
Did you see the bodies?
I was more focused on the injured prince and the rampaging, frenzying constable and the anarchs.
But the bodies were there when you were there.
Yeah. Various states of decay, but they were there. No, I didn't get a good look.
You don't need to get a good look of these bodies. They're bodies you'd remember if you think back. If they were there. one with long bone extensions on their limbs. All Nosferatu, but this one different. Strange. If you saw it, you'd know. One whose face looks like a skull. One covered in hair.
There was a lot of people covered in hair. There was a lot of big, nasty swinging things. So, no. If you're asking for a specific person, I'm the worst person to ask.
But as
Like
I
I said.
told you, the hounds will stand besides Jacqueline.
Yes, but I don't think that's a two-way thing anymore. I think you underestimate just how much Jacqueline hates what we are.
Yes, I totally understand that she hates it. She hates this place, she hates who she is, she hates what we are, she hates all of it.
Yeah, to the degree where she'd probably consider killing us to be a mercy.
Most likely. I didn't come here looking for her.
Oh, good.
I came here looking for Jim and Amelia.
Well,
It's been 3 days, it's time to be buried, so it's okay. 4 days.
Thank you for seeing them buried.
I didn't. Gideon did. I was a bit preoccupied.
If you or Gideon need a place to hold up, let me know and I'll sort you out.
I appreciate that, but we've already got stuff sorted. We're just checking up on things before we go from there.
Don't be a stranger.
Well, guess that depends on things. I'd say you too, but it might be safer for us both.
And I just start walking towards them and I say, pass her by. Just put a hand on her shoulder.
Oh,
Just move on.
by the way, leave the cross.
I was of a mind of having it repaired and returned.
I think she'd rather have it damaged than come back and find it's not here.
Hand it over.
What's it about? Oh,
Actually, it's not on the gun. You know, like, yeah, sorry about that. Hey, I tried to call you. She does have like 20 missed calls from me since yesterday, so. And like,
it's probably why she doesn't say anything,
okay.
even though she really wants to.
See you around, Nancy.
You too, Moses. And you. And you.
Come on, guys.
And as you look over to them and say this, you turn back and Nancy's gone.
Yeah, I assume we were going out the same way we got in.
Yep.
Get in the car. Drive. Like, do you want to go to your place to grab some stuff? Do you want to stay at your place? I would recommend us just to stay underground for a few days.
If we're going to stay for time, I'll need to bring Fagin.
Okay, fair enough. Also, we will need a lot of cleaning products and stuff. There are a lot of rat carcasses that we need to sort out. So yeah,
I have cleaning things in the car.
cool. Go to his house so he can just pick stuff up. And while he does that, I'll leave him there and I just go with Sarah to my flat, to my condo. Message Susan that I'm going upstairs so she doesn't, jump all around the place. I would assume it's past Lucy's bedtime.
Yeah, at this point it's getting in there. Whether or not she currently has a bedtime. Who else is going up with you?
Yeah, I'm leaving Sarah.
Just you?
I'm sticking with him.
I think he's left me to pack. at
Yeah,
my
he's
flat.
packing.
Okay. So you go back upstairs, and then Going straight in?
Yeah.
Okay. Flat is pretty much exactly how you left it. Aside from a suitcase and a pink rucksack, which is sat on the besides the door. You get the feeling it's probably left there just in case it needs to be grabbed quickly. You see the backs of Susan and Lucy. The TV is on, currently blazing. The moment the door opens, they both stop. Lucy immediately turns up and stands up on the sofa to see you and immediately descends to go after you.
Okay.
And embraces you quite openly.
She's feeling better, I assume. Now, nice. I just hold her and start walking, facing the house. I say nothing. I just stay with the girl, holding her for a little while.
Moses,
Yes?
what's the doggy's name?
Doesn't have a name.
Why?
Because I have been busy. Come on, I mean, I live here and you never see me here because I'm always working.
Ain't got time for a name.
No, but it has to be like an important name. Something like,
Foggy too?
no. Because he's not a fox that looks like a dog, that acts like a doggy.
I want to call him Ben.
Why would you like to call him Ben?
Because I like Ben.
Oh yeah, you know Ben. Oh, we could have brought Ben. But this is my friend Sarah.
Hi.
This is Lucy. But Ben is a person's name.
So,
So what dog name do we give the dog?
what person's called Moses?
No, there are no dogs. Like Moses is an.
I want to call him Ben.
Benji.
And you buy me at McDonald's.
And look at Susan.
Susan's like, oh, bad on mine.
Okay, Benji. And you get McDonald's.
Big Mac.
Happy Meal.
Big Mac.
Extra toy.
Okay. She picks up the puppy and as she walks, come on, Ben. And wanders off.
Benji. It's Benji. Well, she's going.
You get the
off
feeling
to-
it's a losing battle.
Yeah. I approach Susan and say, this is a friend, Sarah. Actually, if you give us a moment and go check on Lucy and Benji, yes.
Okay.
She watches her
Mhm.
go after Lucy. You get the feeling that she's yeah, you know, not very comfortable with a stranger going near Lucy.
She's a friend and she was a social worker.
Okay.
I was friends with her brother. Here. And I hand her the bag with the papers Benjamin helped me sort out. Here. Need you to put this where I have, remember my records on my office? We found a cell. Don't ask.
I had no intention of asking.
We found them. They were targeting a group of children. From what I gather, they never got to these. So I need you to use your contacts and from your support groups and from your children's psychology, everything, to see if you can help us get information as to the whereabouts of these children so we can put surveillance on them. Because we got them. We got them. It's a small step, but we got them. And this could be used by Alan Burr at some point if he wants to help you and to make a stronger case against those who were harassing you and trying to make you like a lunatic.
Okay, thank you. She puts it down gingerly, almost like it's delicate. She's still watching as those two have moved off into the other room.
And I just stand and see them with
Lucy's
Susan.
currently sat on the bed with the dog in between her legs, and she's got him by the paws and is making him dance in front of Sarah.
Because
dog,
I
it's
think
kind of just like...
I do remember that when we were asking about Sarah, I think Jim mentioned that either she was a social worker or something worker. She worked on something like that.
Yeah, I think
With kids or something. Because that's because I think I was doing the profile when I was looking for her. When she popped up the first time on the cross hands. So I just want to see how she handles dealing out with the kid.
And if you twist him like this, he really doesn't like it, but he looks really good dancing. I really like you. His name's Benji now. Where's Ben when Moses is near?
I agree with that.
And she grabs him by the ears and is just like,
Careful, careful.
I'm not hurting him. He stood as Foggy. You know, Foggy was like, felt different. This one's soft.
I
thought it was wild.
And yeah, just spend time as work is. I can't rob that.
So, are you like Moses?
What do you mean, like Moses?
Angel. You can tell me, I already know. About Moses.
I think he may... I think he's protecting me. Maybe what someone else teaches me?
What, like me?
No. I think he looks after you, yes?
Yeah.
I think he's doing the same for me.
So like me? That's what I said. No one listens to me, Benji. You'll listen though, because you're a good dog. I love you, Ben. Moses?
Yes?
How long are you staying for?
Well, tonight, not for long.
Why?
Because I have to take Sarah back. And by the time I return, you're gonna be already asleep because it's gonna be way past your bedtime.
No.
Yes. And then tomorrow morning,
I don't want to go to sleep.
let's do a deal.
No, I don't want to go to sleep.
I go to her, grab Benji, and sit in the floor, cross-legged with Benji, and I pull her close. I know it's scary.
I don't like the dreams I have.
I know. They are scary, but remember Mommy?
Yeah.
You still miss her, right?
Yeah.
And when she left, you were really sad.
Yeah.
And you miss her the same. But you are now less sad. A little bit. You're still sad, but less sad, right? And that is something that you will never forget. You will never forget your mommy. But your mom not being with you, something you don't get over. It's something you learn to live with. Because you can remember the good times you had with her, and that doesn't make you that sad anymore.
I don't see what this has to do with me sleeping.
These nightmares that you're having, they're not gonna get any easier.
I feel like someone's pulling me apart.
You are very ill. Very. And I had to get a special doctor to do a special treatment. And now you're here sitting and you're feeling okay. You're not coughing. You're playing with Benji.
I'm not tired.
And I know that when you go to bed, you'll feel like that again and you will be afraid.
Can I sleep with Benji?
Yes, he can sleep with you and he will guard you. And when you wake up, he will be there. But may I recommend not give him a lot of water before he goes to bed, unless you want him to wet your bed.
He wet your bed. He didn't wet my bed. I changed it. Why didn't I use your towels? But I dried it.
Okay.
I didn't tell him off though. He was really sorry.
I look at I just grab the puppy.
If anyone could look more pleased with themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Ben G.
We all know it's Ben. It's gonna be Ben.
It's gonna be Ben.
The moment that door's shut. Right, Ben.
Yeah. Okay. These nightmares are not gonna go off, girl. But you're strong. And as you are now healthy and cured, you will grow stronger. So you also have to grow stronger. And I knock her on the noggin. Here. You will stronger on the outside and also on the brain. So you will learn to live with them. They will be scary. They will be painful. But they are not going to hurt you. You will be...
Felt like it hurts.
Every time you wake up and you're here. And your aunt is here. And Benji's here. And I'll try to be here. But as you can see, there's a lot of work protecting people these days. So when you go to bed and I come back, you will be asleep. And I will leave very, very early in the morning. But tomorrow night, I will bring you your McDonald's.
I want Big Mac.
Your Happy Meal with extra toy.
But I'm going to sleep.
Big Mac.
With extra toy.
One toy. The other one is for Benji. Deal. I give her a kiss in the forehead and leave her to play with Benji.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Lucy.
And on the way out, I tell Susan, it's like, I'm gonna be taking care of some business, and the streets are kind of rough. I would recommend just calling the store if you need to do a shopping. Are you okay for money in the meantime?
I'll be fine.
Have you been able to get in touch with Alan Burr's desk? He was recovering, but his firm can still represent you.
No, I just get led in circles. I'd rather speak to him.
Okay. Have you tried it?
Not tonight.
Okay. Might be a good idea to maybe try to text him tomorrow morning and see how he's faring.
Okay.
Ask him if he needs any help. Okay. I just give her a hug. Just to calm her down. Calm myself down, now that I know that they are both here and safe. And leave with Sarah to pick up Benjamin.
As we go there again, are we going to visit Jim now, or because if we're going
After we pick up Benjamin, so the three of us have a chance to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Sorry for taking you on a wild ride around town. How are you holding up?
It's a lot, and asked Ben this, but what was Jim like while he was with you guys?
Reckless. Solid. Stubborn.
Yeah, that was him.
But he was also a victim of Alicia. Having the sire he had is not something I would envy. I mean, look at yourself in your situation. You would imagine that the person who decides to embrace you would at least have the decency to spend some time with you, teaching you at least the very basics. And I'm sorry you got straddled with us. But as I was telling that little girl, this is not something you get over. You don't get over with.
No, I did.
This is something you learn to live with. And either you learn to live with it, or you die. This time for good. And sadly, your brother tried to get over it, could not learn to live with it.
He was protective, stubborn asshole.
That actually defines him quite well.
I mean, doesn't matter now, but
How was he as a brother?
I
Was he older than you?
2 years older.
Was he the overprotective kind?
He tried to give space when needed, but he wasn't much a talker. He didn't understand that sort of thing. But I remember a while back when several years now, he went on a night out. I heard he went night out with a few of his colleagues, and this one night, and this office lady, I don't remember her name. She had a few. He was getting her home, as he would, because he wouldn't really drink. And I remember hearing that two guys had fallen him into an alley. I was told afterwards they were carried out, and he walked out with a few bruises. She got home safe. But,
Wow.
I wish I'd known, because
No, you didn't.
maybe I could have helped him.
No. What could possibly have you done? You don't think I think the same? I was embraced pretty much like you, Sarah. Out of hate and spite. In your case, Alicia was angry at the world. In my case, fuck knows. I don't know what the older man was thinking of, but neither of our desires stuck around. We managed to make it one day at a time, but I still struggle to come to terms with what I am. To the point that that little girl you saw there, this struggle to be with her and having to hide my face.
And the night Jim died, he was being a protective asshole again, watching over his choir group as they were having a camping trip.
Those are the I mean, I don't know what to say. I never knew him when he was alive. You did. And I think beyond the conversation you had with him that night, you didn't really get to know him. You lived with your brother, Jim, your brother. I lived with Jim, the gangrel. And no matter what they say, the embrace changes you. So I would recommend you remember Jim for who he was and not for the experiences I had with him. Because sometimes he would lose himself to the beast. Just as I have. Just as you will. And that is not the Jim you knew. Could never possibly be. There is a before and an after for us. In my case, it's quite evident. It's inescapable. But even for people like Ben, his bloodline is cursed with madness. I'm pretty sure that Ben, when he was alive, was a pretty sound and sensible guy. Not that skittish, or maybe he was, but not cuckoo. It's just a matter of time before you start experiencing everything we have mentioned you will experience. It sounds awful that we tell it to you, but we would rather you be prepared to know that there is a possibility. Well, there is a possibility that they happen now, but it's a certainty that they will happen in the future.
Meanwhile, you've been cleaning. Dutifully. And before too long you find these guys wandering back to you. By that point you've pretty much done the vast majority of what you can do in the time that's been afforded to you. What have you been doing other than that? Anything noteworthy?
I'm assuming that it's just me and Fagin in the flat this time.
Fagin's feeling a lot more sociable.
Cool. I will probably chat to Fagin a little.
He listens as much as a cat is likely to.
Um,
Which is you're interesting until he's got something better to do. So just
yeah. I mean, I'm not having like a conversation, but I will probably just say something like that. Seems like it's just us tonight. I will kind of double check the room, and then I'll go back to what I'm doing. And I don't think I'm doing anything radical. I'll be packing stuff because I'm taking Fagin. If we're staying a couple of days, I'll take Fagin with me. So I'll be packing food and Fagin supplies.
Probably making up the vast majority of what you're taking.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I will take a change of clothes, but it's not like I, sweat most of the time. So yeah, I'll take some clothes. I will take some soap. I will take. I mean, I've got cleaning stuff in the car anyway, should it become relevant. But there's not much else I'm planning to take. I'm not going to take any painting gear, but I might take a sketch pad, just in case.
Okay. Easy enough for you to gather all the stuff together.
Cool.
Before too long, I assume you're knocking?
I'm actually ringing.
Okay.
Or asking Sarah to call him before we arrive. Like when we're 5 minutes out, like we'll be there in 5 minutes. Just wait for us downstairs.
So you get the phone call.
Yeah, I'll do as instructed with a bag and a cat carrier,
which Fagin reluctantly occupies with a as you shunt him inside, and then with as much dignity as Fagin can muster, which is considerable. He glares out at you from between the
excellent.
March downstairs with him.
Yeah.
One quick stop in the cemetery and then home. Just normal, all the way to the cemetery, to the plot Nancy described.
Cemetery's vacant. There is no one in there. It's quite a nice cemetery. There is a weathered walkway, a pathway which has been made to walk around the exterior area of it, so you can easily get to the place you need to. Taking care not to step on anyone's graves, you make your way roughly to the area where she said he was buried. And the only telltale signs that anyone is buried there is the fact that you can tell upon inspection, which is a bit more difficult to do in the dark, not less so for you, that the ground has recently been returned. Or turned, rather, not returned. But there is no stone. There's nothing to mark the grave.
Is there one or two?
One.
And what was Amelia? Amelia?
Yeah.
And Jim. Both of them. Are they both in this cemetery side by side?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's
Or
not a wide
near
grave.
wide.
It's more kind of shared the grave shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
It's unmarked. You can't have a massive plot without it suddenly being, hey, let's use here to put a new grave. And, oh, there's bodies here.
Yeah.
You know, because one of these aren't going to degrade. The other one will, in time.
Just grab a fistful of dirt. Sort of clean my hands with it. And I just stand there in silent prayer.
What are you doing, sir?
Totally just looking there, thinking, weighing out choices.
Are you lingering nearby, or?
I mean, I'm a little way away. I mean, obviously, as far as I'm concerned, Amelia isn't actually dead. So this is not that emotional experience for me.
Which explains why, as you're staring towards where they are, you don't feel her, but you know she's there. And you can catch the colour of her hair out of your peripheral. But there's a part of you that refuses to look at her. Because that same part of you is convinced that if you do, she'll vanish.
Oh, well, I definitely won't look then.
But she's there.
Keeping an eye out. Like, but it's more of a paranoid thing now that I know the alderman is in town. So every time I am outdoors, I'm looking for him.
Okay. You don't see anyone. Aside from Benjamin, who's at the exterior of the graveyard. Far enough that he's not imposing, close enough that he can see you. And you remain in silence. There is no one else there. And you finally are coupled with your brother's body. And this is uncomfortably familiar for you. Weird how it doesn't feel any different. Worryingly so. You want to be grateful for it, but you don't. But there's nothing else that can come of it. You know he's there. You've got no reason not to believe what's been said. There's a part of you which has already made your goodbyes, and has for a long time. But you get the feeling you're not going to be ready to say goodbye for a while. Is there anything else you want to do?
I will wait until she looks like she's done. And then just silently lead the parade back to the car.
I'm gonna while we're in that waiting period, I will, using my heightened senses, look at some of the gravestones. Just trying to see if any of the numbers leap out at me.
The numbers.
Yeah, on the graves.
Okay.
I mean,
Birthdays.
I'm
times
just
of
thinking,
death,
you know,
days of death.
it's a habit one might fall into
Like,
when there are kind of numbers around.
Do intelligence plus occult.
Nada.
Nada.
No, fine.
No idea. That's frustrating you.
It's frustrating me.
Okay. You will begin gathering back. Making your way back towards vehicle. Before making your way back.
Yeah, all the way to the other haven. Where
As
we...
the car says, going to have her and the door go. I need some time alone. Start stepping away.
Here in the cemetery?
I need to walk.
You need to
I think.
walk.
Of course.
Yeah, sure. Sure thing.
She wanders off.
You know what? I just light up a cigarette. Wait until she's like over there. Hand the keys to Benjamin. Like, I'll keep you posted. I'll follow her first.
I was going to offer.
Yeah. I need to get acquaintance with your cat. Apparently, I didn't know you had a cat.
Yes.
Hello. I at least have one dot of animal ken. A little bit of animalism.
It was my last proper gift from Edmund. When he was alive.
Unseen passage. Going hungry, apparently. No, going hungry. And
As you move off, Fagin's head just follows you as you wander. Then she goes back to licking
that's
herself.
creepy. And I start following her, shadowing her. Again, I'm gonna let her have as long as she needs. But there is a boon that I intend on keeping, which is keep her safe.
Okay.
Also, because it'll be our heads if something happens to her on our watch.
It will be. Is there anything else you intend on doing for the rest of the night?
No, I
After
think we will
return.
meet back in my haven. He's gonna drive off. I'm gonna be walking behind her, just keeping her company.
I mean, I'm kind of assuming they're going to come back to the car at some point. And I'm going to drive them all.
Well, I'll keep you posted. Eventually, I will say, like, just drive
Okay.
to this address or to that address or to that other address.
Okay.
I think that's the way things are gonna pan out.
Okay.
I just need to see this note, and then we can deduce.
What happens next?
The end of the session.
Yes.
So on the note it says, change into my true form.
As Edmund, I never die. The secret character all along. Actually, Edmund is Fagin.
Okay.
I like to feel that he lives on in Fagin.
or worse, Vehement is possessing Fagin, and who we kill was a clone.
Don't say things like that.
Because Shemis, Sensei,
Fagin.
or however you call it, they have animalism as a clan discipline.
Fagin is too cool to be feminine.
I know, right?
Fagin is way too cool to be Vehement. Fagin is a good Moses. Teaches Benjamin animalism, so Benjamin can turn Fagin into a fabulous kind of person.
And never die.
Yes. You want me to teach you animalism? You only have to drink my blood.
Not that again.
So, you keep your distance, but you begin following Sarah. And as best as she can, with a little less precaution than you'd like, although she doesn't meet anyone on the way, which gives you, pause to go, oh, fuck! She makes her way to Jim's original grave.
Okay.
Anything special you're doing while you're there?
just gonna sit in front of the gravestone and slowly trace over the letters that in the wording that I originally had for her.
Okay.
I did.
So she remains there for a while.
I let Benjamin know that we're here. How far away is this place from my other haven?
Well, the one you were heading to?
Yeah.
30-minute walk?
30-minute walk.
At pace.
Okay, so at least a 10-minute drive-ish. Okay.
Sorry.
So yes, head up to the haven, to my haven.
This is where we met, like Katia and Will, is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My other haven, and well, the cleaning products and the stuff.
Yeah, I will go.
Okay. So. Where are you heading, sorry?
I'm going to go where I've been told to go, which is back to where Katia and Will are, to his
My
haven.
other haven.
Alright, so you start making your way back there.
Yeah.
How long until you guys follow?
I have no idea. So.
How long are you going to be there for?
Exactly.
Oh wow.
What time
Do you want
is
to give
it?
your ST a time?
Ah.
Otherwise I'll make an assumption you won't like how long I leave you there.
I think I know what the assumption is.
I think
Alright.
at about 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
I might make myself known. Maybe 5. 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
What time
She
the sun is coming
there
up?
until about 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So, a good hour and a half before sunrise. If she has no intention to move, I make myself known.
Okay. Which you do, because she has not moved.
I have been probably either texting to find out Alice, texting. Like, I've been with my phone most of the time.
You haven't heard back from anyone else?
From anyone. Okay. I just drop off your escape. Yeah. Sarah. It's getting late.
I know.
Maybe if you still want to walk, we can walk back. But also I could call Benjamin so he can pick us up.
No.
So you would rather walk?
No.
So wait, what? You don't want to come with us? You want to call Lisa Ketting? You want to go with her? You want me to drop you off with her?
No.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I feel like talking to Jim again. So, you want nothing. You don't want to come back. You don't want to walk. You don't want to be driven. You don't want to go to Lisa Ketting. It's not like you have many choices open, lady.
I know.
So,
Which was mine.
yeah, the thing is, right now you're under my care, and your actions have consequences.
I know.
Until.
And I'm sorry.
How about? I know it's been an upsetting night and an inconvenient night, but how about we call Lisa, try to get a hold of her, and you have a chat with her?
No.
Do you mind telling me what's going through your head? I need to take you to safety. It's close to dawn. Someone's gonna come to these grounds soon. People work here and tend to this place.
Yes.
You don't know how to control your beast yet. Are you feeling hungry?
No. Well, a little bit.
Okay, how do you know you're not gonna attack the first person that shows up?
I won't.
So you pretend to stay here until Jim raises from the dead, because unless you're embraced, I think there's only one guy who pulled that trick about 2,000 years ago. Well, little less. Jim is not coming back. I'm sorry. I know it hurts, and I know you miss him.
I know he's not coming back.
And
I insisted this was on his gravestone.
I can make arrangements to have Jim's body reburied here at some point. So whenever you come to visit his grave, he's actually here. Right now you're standing on a plot with no body and no connection to you other than the name written on that stone.
I know.
Come with me. Let's
No.
go back to safety and let me hand you back over to Lisa Ketting. If you don't like that arrangement, we can also help, but not right now. The prince who killed Jim died last night.
Good.
And the whole structure is changing. And so far, the person in charge of you is Lisa.
Intelligence plus awareness.
Both will.
Both.
Ooh.
3.
You are acutely aware that, although you weren't aware of it originally, your body has been getting stiffer. It's been a little harder to move every little time. It's the very early onset warning of your beast and your body.
So wherever you are, start making your way to your haven.
Yeah, it's your instinctual need to be out of open ground. And it's your body's way of showing that the vitae that you was used to animate you is wearing off.
How long until sunrise, roughly?
About an hour and a half at most.
At most. Okay, I call Benjamin.
Okay.
Say,
I seem like get it. Yes.
Ben, can you come pick us up at the cemetery?
Yes.
Okay.
Where I was before.
No. Sarah's visiting Jim's gravestone.
Ah, yes. I remember where that is.
Okay. See you here.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. I will let Katia know.
I
And
will
will
try to get a
I'm
hold of Lisa Ketting.
Katia does a glance at her watch, but otherwise doesn't say anything.
I will give her that, kind of nod when she does that, and I will go, and I will not speed. Actually, I'll drive. I'll drive normally.
Okay.
But yeah.
I call Lisa Ketting.
Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Ketting. I am having a little bit of a difficulty with your protege. I said I would do everything I could to protect her as much as I did for Jim. But in the end, I couldn't save Jim from himself, and I am afraid that that is something that runs in the family.
Is she there?
Yes, she is.
Can you put her on the phone, please?
I'll try. For you. It's Lisa. She wants to have a word with you. I leave the thing open so she can listen to our conversation.
No, thank you.
No need to be rude. At least talk to her. She helped you out when you didn't know what was going on.
Now I know, and this is my choice. Please.
You heard her.
I heard.
So what am I to do? The last time I needed to take Jim somewhere. I mean, a couple of hounds came with me.
Whereabouts are you? Are you somewhere where if she does spontaneously combust?
Yeah, I'm starting to walk around just because I'm wary. But as I said, we're at the cemetery. If she decides to stay here because she tries to defy it, she's gonna go into a fear frenzy. She's gonna start running around like crazy. I don't know if she's gonna find shelter, but if she doesn't, she's gonna leave a very big mess.
Then my recommendation is that you stake her, take her away from somewhere where she'll be noticed, and then if she still wishes to die come tomorrow night, then we can see to that. But she is not to remain somewhere where she can be witnessed.
Oh. Okay. Where does that leave us? Because I have kept my end of the bargain.
This is me giving you a means of keeping your end, provided there is no masquerade breach. If this is the decision she's making, now is a really poor time for me to have this kind of discussion with her.
You think I'm the one standing in the cemetery with her? Have a nice evening, Miss Kelling. I will keep you informed. Like, if she thinks that's uncomfortable, I'm the one staying out here. Okay, actually, I'm a little confounded. That was, like, super harsh. Like, yes, I get it. She's depressed and having, like, these thoughts. But Lisa was like, yeah, if she wants it, sure. And, like, Moses is a little bit shocked about that. It's like, so how much did you really care for her, really?
Hard to tell over the phone. Seems like the bigger concern at the moment is the potential breach.
Yeah. And I go back to her.
Like, you gotta remember, this isn't just convincing someone whether to live or die. This is, they're in a public place. You've just admitted.
Yes. Like, okay. So
and what preludes her standing in front of the sun is a frenzy, because the beast will go ape shit.
Yeah, I know that bit, and it's gonna be like a disaster. But my worry is like she really is thinking about doing this. It's like, okay, can you please walk me through what's going over your head? If you want to get a tan, can we do it tomorrow night in a nice private place in which there is no risk of you harming other people? Me working as a hound means dealing with the consequences of the actions of those who, like you, acted on impulse. Like your brother, sadly. Like many others. There are consequences. You being here exposed, me being here with you. Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens if I disappear from the picture? If I let you kill yourself publicly here without stopping you. I'm done. What do you think is going to happen to that little girl you met this night? Or to that woman? They're dependent on me. There are consequences. Whatever thoughts you're having, you can have them in private.
I can't.
As you are having this discussion, you're pulling up.
Okay.
You are all now uncomfortably aware of how little time you have left.
I take it.
And we are going to continue this next week.
Like, I already had my stake in my hand. I'm going for her. It's like, oh, she's poor girl. She's. Why did Moses do to the Roy Woods family? To the Woods family? Dude, what a way to put me on a pinch right there. Oh my god.
You're welcome.
No, you got me like thinking hard.
No, this is him saying for the last session, I want to play Fagin.
Yeah. Or Benji. Benji.
I think also like the chat's been completely silent, which is a thing of them going,
I think they're as confounded as Moses. Like, so what exactly is? So you want to go? What do you want to do? No, I'm not moving. No, no. Walk by me. Run it by me again. Okay.
Of course, if you guys want to find out what happens, you're gonna have to join us for the final episode of Blood on the Thames next week. We will be starting earlier next week. We're going to be aiming to start at 6:30.
Yes. Yeah.
6:30.
For those who are not British and like me would get confused with halves, that is 6:30 p.m.
Yes, or 18:30 if you prefer 24 hours.
Okay, not the halves always confuse.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of those three, at the same time as what time we're going to be starting. It might run a little later as well, just purely because it's the last episode. So yeah.
Get your coffee.
So mark it down,
great,
guys, to come earlier if you can, and join us for last episode next week. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for our live audience again, because she is awesome. And thank you guys for sticking around to watch the shenanigans. Right, we love you loads, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Love you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.